There we go. Profile. Prolific. There we go. Excellent. Unforgettable. That's what you are. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me test the shit though. Hold on. And then we can begin. Right, what is going on, people? I know somebody's watching this, but we are going to start very shortly. Very, very shortly. I just need to make sure that this works. So far, so good, though. I feel like I should be starting this shit like... Yeah, it actually works. Okay. I honestly feel like... I do. I feel like I need to start this shit like early. Like 5 minutes before. That way I could contain it, request it. Yo, Leon Kennedy. What's going on, man? Speak, nigga. Speak your mind and sit.
I love this commercial.
You saw this one already?
Yeah. It's like trying to tell the different beards and shit. What's up, bro?
Yo, what's going on?
That nigga said, speak your mind, nigga.
Speak that shit.
Oh, it is a Saturday, beautiful evening. Well, it's not evening.
Something. And hold on.
Larry's in here. We're be chilling today. Yeah, exactly, bro.
Wait, Twitter. Hello.
Can you hear me, Josh?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Nigger? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh.
So look, my girl, I was showing a trailer of the Death Stranding director's cut, the one that Kojima did himself, and she was like, "Damn, like the graphics." I said, "Yeah, like this is what Kojima does." And I was telling her, wait till the next PS5 only game that he's going to do. It's going to be fucking insane,
You think so?
Oh, come on, nigga. Like,
I don't know.
Wow. This nigga down Kojima.
Of course I am. That nigga cat. Hold on for a minute.
Okay. It's the most wonderful time.
Okay, cool. All right. So 5 minutes is good enough. It's good enough to actually start this shit off. I don't know how long you're going to stay in here, but I am going to continue.
Yeah, I'll be in here for probably about maybe 30 minutes.
That's good.
Because we got to go to Target to pick up her iPhone 13 Pro Max.
Y'all some trendy niggas, yo.
That's my girl, man. You could have had a nicer shit. Goddamn.
Just trendy.
I got an iPhone 11. But I'm gonna get a 13, so no, it's all the same shit. Really, it's just the camera specs are different, and the battery would be the only difference, really.
How that shit looking? Okay.
And the performance too.
Okay.
But yeah, she just got the iPhone 13 Pro Max. She just, I just got to finish setting it up for her. So we got to go to Target to pick up the case and the screen protector. And then we'll get some Wingstop, nigga.
Yo, I don't like how you use nigga, yo. You too light skinned for that.
No, I am not.
Yo, how you actually knew I was going to say that shit, yo? You get on my fucking nerves, yo. Yo, you didn't even bat an eye to it. You just instantly went to it. Okay, I feel you.
You remind me of
a girl. Hey, pause. I forgot. I had to pause myself. Shit.
You remind me of my
You want to mention some old ass nigga, yo?
Blood cousin. No. he's in my blood cousin, but I call him my cousin. This a nigga named Brian that pretty much I grew up with, and despite your hair, y'all look just alike.
This
Pretty
nigga,
much,
yo. This
pretty
nigga.
much they're just
I
alike.
look
But
like
like the
every
nigga's
fucking
mean
body,
though.
yo. What you say? He's who?
He has a mean, serious look. You know, like a demeanor to him. But
But he
he's
ain't
funny as
serious.
shit though. Oh no, I mean, he a real nigga. don't get me, don't get me wrong. Like he a fucking nigga up, but um, he's funny as shit too, man.
He's funny.
He definitely reminds me of you. Um, but it's crazy because we kind of fell off, because people go places and Um, but I just recently saw him not too long ago when I was back in Texas. So I said, "Damn, but you look a little old. You're getting older now. You're getting your gray hairs in your beard."
Yeah, you are though. But we all
I
are.
know.
Luckily,
Yeah,
we
man,
luckily
it's
we
all
don't
good
look
though.
old.
Yeah, and see, I was just about to say that too because I was talking to one of the customers at my job, and she was like, "Wow, like what? Like 34? Like no way."
I was, and look. Hold on. I'm gonna go to my profile picture. People on YouTube, so y'all know what I look like.
Pause. Where the fuck is?
But home
We got a
profile,
brand new
bitch.
Christmas tree. Uh-huh.
Why is it saying I'm connected? Come on, bitch. Oh, y'all can't see it. Whatever.
Caution, what's up, nigga? Larry,
Oh, let me see. Let me see if
everyone else.
it's okay. So I said anyway. We better get it started. Let's
Larry,
get
why aren't you on
active.
speaker, Larry?
Hmm?
I said, why is Larry not on speaker?
He did. Well, I don't know. Something.
Probably busy doing something.
Oop. Yeah. So anybody that
I didn't mean it like that. This nigga said, ooh. Damn, the fucking
um
sun is already
yeah,
setting at 4 o'clock.
people think when they saw me that they were like, "Damn, you look like it was this white dude while I was at the gym and stuff like that." And I was just kind of telling him shit, and he was like, "You 37?" I was like, "Yeah, what the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah, nigga, black don't crack, nigga.
Black don't crack unless they
You know
smoke
what I'm
crack."
saying? Exactly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's our genes.
No, it's our skin. Our
Or
skin.
it's the skin.
Our skin is thicker than the average person. So I get it. Anyway, we better get this shit started. So we have 3 topics to talk about. We have PlayStation Plus versus Game Pass. Right? And this is the thing. If you guys join my Discord, that's in the description, or my YouTube page, or you can find it here, or whatever the case is, DM me and I'll give you that information.
Damn, she fine.
I'm telling.
Shush, nigga. Nigga said, "Huh." I'm watching the Kardashians.
So
my girl got this shit on.
So here's the thing, right? The second topic we're going to talk about is mediocrity. Like, are we accepting mediocrity? You know what I'm saying? And this was inspired by the likes of Halo Infinite and just other games. You know what I mean? And how it looks like even Battlefield. It looks like over time we just taking that, just making it. We just accepting shit, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not feeling. Ooh, somebody requested it. Who did that? Oh, Black wins. I gotta fucking focus on this shit, yo. So yeah, that's my whole thing. And the third topic is
Larry.
Hold on, wait. I gotta get this shit ordered. So the third topic is going to be the off topic. If you don't know, I usually have an off topic afterwards. We're going to talk about in this world who's really running this shit. Because it looks like everybody is run by something. The world just seems to kind of tick tock to one particular drummer, and I'm kind of curious as to what everybody thinks. This is not a conspiracy theory type thing. I just want to know what everybody thinks. I'm just curious if y'all hip to this shit. So either way, we are going to go on to our first topic. The first thing I wanted to actually talk about, though, here's the funny thing, right? Let me just make sure this shit is working. Hold on. All right, yeah, it's working. Cool. The first thing I want to actually talk
Hacky
about
Slack, what's up, boy?
is Game Pass versus PlayStation Plus, right? And here's an interesting thing about this. Nightmares. My fellow Twitter friend from London, I believe you're from. Welcome. I really appreciate it. But we're going to talk about Game Pass versus PlayStation Plus. Now, I was the person that always believed that PlayStation Plus could hold its fucking own against a service like Game Pass or anything else. But then I had an interesting conversation. That's what I was going to say about the whole Discord situation. It turns out that Xbox niggas don't know what PS Plus is, even though they have it. So I wanted to actually explain it to you motherfuckers, even though it may go against your programming. I want to compare the two because I had an interesting conversation saying that PS Plus was shit because it just was behind the times. It just wasn't as expansive. You know, it wasn't consumer friendly, which might I add with the consumer friendly talk, a company is not really ever consumer friendly. They all want your money and they all need to sweeten the pot. Nigga, you ain't special. Shut up. So let's go and open the chronicles of what PlayStation Plus is. I'm going to read this shit very quickly. So if you can't, can you keep up? I'm sorry. But if you can't keep up, though, I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, PlayStation Plus is a paid subscription service from PlayStation, which gives members 2 PS4 games to download every month, as well as access to online multiplayer gaming, exclusive discounts to the PlayStation Store, 100 gigabytes of cloud data storage for your save games, and bonus content such as skins, not porno, and in-game items free to pay games like Game Pass. Well, I'm sorry, like not Game Pass, Fortnite. What people don't know is that up until recently, games that were free to play on Xbox require you to have the Xbox Live. So
they require you to have what, Josh?
Xbox Live on Xbox. They require you to have that, even though they were free to play, which was interesting to say the least. They had to kind of backpedal on that one. Now let's get into the meat about what they have, right? Now this is all because of the this Jason Schreier situation where they say that PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now is going to get combined. So I'm going to be reading you 2 of those things. Right. So either way, so you have the PlayStation Plus, you have the PlayStation rented service. That's the one that people say that is most like Game Pass, which might I add PlayStation pioneered before any of these motherfuckers. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. People seem to forget. Right. So you got that collection. The biggest bullshit of this, though, is the online multiplayer. That's really why you're paying. That's really why you're paying it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're paying for Plus. But they had to sweeten the pot because these companies want your fucking money. But the other things is this. You get those exclusive discounts. Think Costco or BJ's, right? You know how you have to pay a subscription and they give you a whole bunch of shit, big ass fucking 2-gallon mayonnaise bottles and shit like that. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of has that particular thing. You also have exclusive in-game content that's connected to free-to-play game. They'll give you that shit for free. That's a part of the service, which starts to differentiate what PS Plus is from Game Pass, by the way. You have Share Play. People don't understand. Share Play is a part of the PlayStation Plus, where I could give my nigga a controller virtually if I have trouble. Like if I had problems with, let's say Elden Ring and my friend, and he got it. And I'm like, I can't, he's farther than me. I'm like, I can't beat it, but I don't want you to just jump in there and just do it for me. Can you help me with this shit like that? And then he could just jump in.
It's a beautiful thing.
And show me what I need to do. Or maybe it's not about helping me out in that regard. Maybe it's just.
You just want to play.
I can't see where I need to go. So if I was playing Returnal and I'm like, I can't find the last scout. And my nigga was like, yo, did you check behind that other thing? What behind where, my nigga? Where? What behind where? Give me the controller. The motherfucker showed me. He walks over there right there, nigga. He starts shooting it. Right there, nigga. And I'm like, oh, shit. It's right there, though. Or sometimes my friend just wanted to show me something that he discovered in the game, but I don't want to stop what I'm doing. So I could just basically watch his screen and pin that shit to the side. You ain't got to turn your game off. Just pin it to the side. I'm just saying. Because you stupid. Larry. Yo, what's going on? So you can pin it to the side while I'm playing my game. You know what I'm saying? It, like yesterday, this shit happened yesterday. He was playing. What was that game, Larry? Black? What was that game you were playing, the little finger game?
Oh, yo. What's this shit called?
Your microphone is fucked up, by the way, but continue.
Oh, damn.
Like you're underwater, Larry.
AirPod.
That nigga sound like that Aaliyah video from 2001 when she was underwater and shit.
Wow. How that shit go, bro?
Well, I mean, it's better than nothing. But what was that finger game? Was that a finger bang game?
Yeah, it was called Finger Banger 2009. Finger Fitness.
Hey, Finger Fitness. I didn't download that bullshit. But he was like, I'm going to get it. He was like, Josh, you'll get mad at me. I said, why will I get mad at you? Because I got to get this Finger Banger game for 99 cents. I said, yo, do you? I said, do you? This shit 99 cents. It's all right. Damn, but I would say you gotta see the haptics. I was like, I can't see it though, but let me see what this game is about. So he sent the broadcast to me in real time, and I pinned that shit to the side while I was playing the GTA collection and shit. It's a wonderful thing. That's something that you can't do on Game Pass because Game Pass is a fucking blockbuster for games. And if you don't know that, if you're too young, it's not even Netflix. You just renting shit. It's Redbox, niggas, Redbox. Kind of like Redbox because you don't have everything there.
I'm about to order.
Hold on, let me see who requested it. I'm sorry, bros. I don't see it, so I'm periodically peeking in here. So just jump in there. You know what I mean? I don't see it all.
I see a few of the homies in here.
Yeah, so if somebody can let me know somebody trying to slide on through, I'll be appreciative.
Pause, nigga.
So you got that. So one of the things that I also wanted to explain to you is game help. Game help. If I'm stuck in Ratchet and Clank,
activity cards.
No, wait, hold on. If I'm that's the OS. If I'm stuck in a game, right, and Ratchet and Clank, and I need that golden bolt. Mm-hmm. If I'm a PlayStation subscriber, they have the videos actually lined up on that bitch, and they can help me, and they show like a little video, and they have like a little tutorial, like a little written paragraph of what I need to do.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, what PlayStation Now is this is the description. PlayStation Now is a game subscription service that gives access to hundreds of games. With PlayStation Now, you can stream PS4, PS3, PS2 games instantly on your PS5, PS4, and PC, and download hundreds of PS4 games and play on your PS5 or PS4. Now, I'm sure you guys already know about the Jason Schreier Spartacus combination. Yeah. And everybody's like, what the fuck is that? Why they say something about PS1, 2, and 3 and PSP. I think it may not be completely emulated, although, that's to be seen. But I believe that's going on there is quite simply, they're going to take
a question for you.
Oh, nigga, let me finish.
I'm going to interrupt, nigga.
All right, go on.
So, because, you're good with this tech shit. Do you think, from your personal opinion and your wisdom, that the keyword wisdom, do you think that we will have the ability to download, keyword download, it's the keyword, to download PS1 through PS3 games?
We should be able to.
I don't see the. I
Now
just
this
don't
now
see
here
the
now
problem with that.
no, the problem
You know,
here is this is the messaging. What I believe is going to happen is that PS Plus Gold, whatever the fuck they want to call it,
okay,
is only going to be is only going to be my bad, I had a message. It's only going to be really catered to PlayStation 5 in terms of you downloading games. I think if you're PS4, you're only going to be stuck with PS2, 1, and PSP games. But they were like, oh, okay. And they're only going to give you the option to stream it on the PS4. But when you get to the PS5, you should be able to natively download it if they go the route for backwards compatibility. If not, then the only reason why you see all those patents floating around is so they can package the game to you and update it without updating it. You know what I'm saying? Without going in the code or remastering it. So something that would boost the resolution to like 4K for PS2 and 3 games on their own server blades, and you can stream it from there. Because how are you going to stream 340p or 320p? What the fuck is the point of that? So that's probably what they're doing with the emulation, realistically. But ideally, I think that it should allow you to download it on the PS5. It should be possible.
That's what I was.
And now my whole thing is this, right? And it's getting into that. I was looking at the patents for that, and they were talking about something called what they call it again. I have all this shit back the fuck up. Let me go back. If somebody requested, somebody have to let me know if you want to speak on this shit. Raise your nigga hand so I can see it.
Or you're a white hand or whatever ethnicity.
We all niggas. Traces of niggas. Traces of niggas are sprinkled on the genetics.
He's stupid as fuck.
Double helix. Traces of little nigga. So I can say that shit. That's what my mom said when she got arrested. Y'all niggas is crazy. They was like, I'm not black. Who the fuck said black mean nigga? I said, you right.
Okay.
Okay. I see spitting bars back in 1980s. Anyway.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day. Anyway. So if you want to speak on this, raise your hand. Let me go back. Why I sound like coffee is a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah, I see you kind of nigga. I say this nigga is on one.
On one. So they call this here CPU spoofing. What? Yo, Umar, what's going on? I don't expect the PS3 games to be downloadable. He's on YouTube, by the way. What's going on, Umar? When it comes to emulation, what was the most difficult part to emulate for the PS3? Y'all should know this. Black. Come on now.
That's a good question. I mean, like, I wouldn't know. I don't know shit.
Black, come on. Say something. I'm going to need you to say something.
The PS2, bro? PS2
for the PS3, what is the hardest part to emulate?
Oh, it's the fucking CPU.
Same thing with the
nigga is
the same thing with
you drink, nigga.
I don't know, Colombian. The same thing with the PS.
The cell pocket.
Cocaine ass nigga.
So cocaine.
Perico.
It is though. It was a mixture of Colombians, black too. Yeah. So they have the patent. They call it CPU spoofing. So CPU spoofing is a CPU dispatching feature that allows the user to provide different implementation for the functionality of a CPU and choose the most efficient implementation based on a target architecture. So what that simply means is that bitch is a liar. It's a liar. It's lying, pretending to be another CPU.
Is he reading an article? Who the fuck sent me this?
Being
Lucky, yeah, he's Lucky. Josh is reading an article. Yes,
I am. I'm reading a whole bunch of articles. I just have it on my phone, so I make sure I prepare myself. I don't just be saying shit. This shit gonna be in the link in this description, niggas. It's gonna be in the description. It's going on YouTube. Don't forget. Music Plus Gamecast, the YouTube channel. We are live on this bitch. Just to be clear. But that's what they said for the patent. The most recent patent is called CPU spoofing. That is the most difficult thing for the PS3 in terms of emulation. And they're trying to spoof that shit. Pretend. Now, that's what I believe. If this Spartacus situation is to be believed, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think they're going to basically upscale these PS1, 2, 3, and PSP games up to 4K or something near 4K. Maybe use the AMD's Effects X or the effects resolution boost thing, and then make the edges clean so you can be able to stream that shit nicely. I personally don't want that to happen, but that's what it is. Now I'm going to go on to the Game Pass. What exactly is Game Pass, and then we can have a discussion. Hold on. I have a lot to do. So they say, what is Game Pass? Game Pass has unlimited access. What is unlimited access? Anyway, unlimited access to over 100 high quality games with titles added all the time. Whether you play console games, PC games, or both, there's a plan for you. Join the Xbox Game Pass for one low monthly price and discover your favorite game. Now, this is what the subscription includes. Play over 100 high quality games for the console, PC, phones, and tablets. Play the game from the cloud. New games added all the time. That's not a feature, saying new games added all the time. Then the perks are you get exclusive membership deals and discounts, free perks including in-game content, and partner offers. Now and game Xbox Live Gold. So they're not the same. Do they sound exactly the same to you guys? I just wanted to explain it because you also have the sharing features as a part of PlayStation Plus. You also have the streaming features. We had that shit since 2013. And then what else do we have? We had a lot. It's a lot. And then you can have and then you have the help. When you have trouble in the game, you can use the activity cards and it can literally help you. Now, here's the thing, though, because this is the crux of this. There's another update. What they're going to do with the PlayStation PlayStation Plus, because that's not it. What they're going to do is that they're going to move this shit along, right? There's another patent for PlayStation Network. Because patent also says that you'll be able to share software and put it on the cloud, right? And that's talking about gameplay clips to the cloud. They use the word slices. You can crop up to more than one, and likely refers to trimming videos. Also mentions creating mini games for these slices, including the potential of game sharing functions to be quite significant in the PS5 community. And we're not even talking about Discord, but just exclusively for that. And what that means is that, you know how you have like these tournaments or whatever the case is. Let's say I had a Returnal thing and I wanted the people on my friends list to beat the game in 5 minutes using a pistol. I can create an activity card and share that with my friends on their network. Right? That's it. That shit baller to me. Baller. That's the type of shit. That's the network. That's what it is. So anybody's confused as to what it is. Game Pass is not really the same thing. That's all I got to say about that. Now, somebody requested. Okay. Now, PlayStation versus. You wanted to speak, yo. Speak. This ain't those spaces where you can't say until you raise your hand. You can say it.
I'm gonna get this nigga some weed and a fucking edible in a minute.
No more.
Way ahead of you, bro.
No, that's all that's going on, Fatal. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yo, if you want to speak, just speak. We are all adults. So you don't cut nobody the fuck off. If you're going to speak, try to be mindful. We're adults. If somebody's speaking, don't be like, whoa, Fatal. So yeah. Fatal, what's going on?
You're a dick. Buddy? You're a dick. I'm doing good.
I have a big dick, yes. Fatal.
Pause. Heavy pause. And then pause on that one too, nigga.
Fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
That's so. Somebody's.
I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Somebody sprinkled some crack in that damn coffee. The fuck?
Because you tripping.
I'm questioning the coffee.
What's the weather out there, Fatal?
Questioning the coffee. What the fuck, man?
I drink coffee and I'm acting like this.
Yo, this chorus game is fucking incredible, bro.
Who?
What game?
Chorus.
Cars.
Never heard of it.
Motherfuckers never heard of it. I swear, man. This is your problem, man.
Is that out right now?
I speak King language on PlayStation. I know what you're talking
about. I bought it there fucking like early this morning, man.
So Fatal, hold on, wait, pause. We are running a bloody show.
Fuck you.
Wait,
what's the topic?
The topic, nigga, don't you see this? Okay.
PS4 versus game. Oh man, really? We're gonna have to talk about this shit.
Yes, but
motherfucker,
you know I do things a little differently. So PlayStation versus. I heard you talk. What you guys say about this? Sony versus.
I don't know if he's
that nigga.
Well,
I'm not shy.
Oh, yeah, huh? My ass.
Say again.
I said, talk about what? What are we talking about? I just got here.
Okay, cool. So there was talk about the PlayStation. Well, obviously, we all heard about the whole Spartacus shit, right? And it's speculatory, yes, but most likely true. Basically, they're trying to consolidate PlayStation Now into the PlayStation Plus. And to be honest with you, some people think that it's a direct competition of Game Pass, and it's not. So yes, PlayStation Plus versus Game Pass is a provocative title, but it's not exactly what it means. I feel like a lot of people that have Xboxes, the typical person, don't quite understand what the fuck the PlayStation Plus is, despite the fact of having it. I'm gonna need you to turn on that volume, please. Please.
Sorry, black man.
Thank you. So yeah, the problem that people have, right? The issue that people have.
Was that the PS5 intro?
It was. I had my shit.
Oh, that's kind of soothing, man. That's kind of soothing. I like that.
Listen, you don't want to stay, son. I get hot of this shit every day, pretty much, with my headphones.
I just need that shit turned down just a little bit more, man. That shit is a lot of background noise.
Well, may I let Fatal hear the menu music?
He heard it already.
Never heard
he could pick up a PS5.
Yeah, I've already heard it already.
So basically, people are talking about how what is PlayStation Plus, and PlayStation Plus is not just about the rented services. It's about because we all know why they did the PlayStation Plus. You know, every company wants your money. They want to sweeten the pot so they can have your money. So we already know that it's being baited by online play. That's the thing. Cool. Okay. But what does it have in there? It has the game help. So if you have a game that you need help on, instead of going to YouTube, you can literally look at all the little tips and tricks on there. It also has, when you have free-to-play games, they give you perks for those free-to-play games. So they give you free DLC or in-game content, microtransactions type shit. You also have, what else? You be able to share your controller with somebody online. You be able to watch what they're doing online. You be able to actually, all those little things that add the fuck up. And someone had the question of what the fuck is a PlayStation Plus compared to Game Pass? And Game Pass has about 2/3 of that. They also call it PSN trash for some reason because it's not day and date. But day and date means that you would obviously need to, I don't know, have all the games day and date that's under Microsoft. At least that's what their promise was. First party was going to be day and date. But then we have this conundrum where they haven't been releasing games for the past 4 years, despite the fact that they went on a purchasing spree. So their services is actually hampered by themselves. So the only difference, if you want to look at it in that particular respect, is that one of them is not day and date and the other one is, but also the one that's not day and date has more games. And now with them being combined, you'll be able to stream games and have, demos. That's one thing that I don't believe that they do, is the demo portion. So that's my thing. Why is this confusing for people is beyond me. Black, what you guys say about this?
Well, I feel like we don't know what the fuck is going on yet, and I feel like everybody pulling the trigger too fast. On the negative side and on the positive side, like we don't know.
You sound a lot better, by the way.
Oh, that's what's up. We don't know what their plans are. We don't know what the price is going to be like, and all of this Matter of fact, this is not confirmed. None of this is confirmed. I know Jason Schreier supposed to be that dude, he the insider and shit, but we don't know if any of this information is factual at all.
Or it's still TBA.
Yeah, and it's still TBA. Like, we talking about it now, it might not release for another 2 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, they saying next year, but like shit get delayed all the time. COVID, all this shit going on, man. We don't know. So I think we kind of pulling the trigger too early on this shit, to be honest. But for the sake of argument, talking about this shit, because it is interesting. It sounds cool, man. Especially if you're into the retro games and shit. It sounds like a great way to add value to PlayStation Plus, which is already a good fucking subscription in my opinion. The free games for the first half of the year were fucking amazing. A lot of them were PlayStation 5 titles. We had Control Ultimate Edition. We had we got Godfall coming up. It's a skewed version of it. It's not, you don't get the story, but it's a lot of good games that dropped. Like, we got the what's that the other game that came out day one, that fucking shark game. I played that. That was cool. PlayStation Plus, all the features that you were talking about on the PlayStation 5, even on the PlayStation 4, all the streaming abilities and sharing. We use that shit all the time, and we just don't never talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I share my screen to him all the time, and we'll watch each other play. I'm like, yo, let me show you this combo on Guilty Gear real quick. And Josh, look at that shit while I'm playing. And we'll do simultaneously sharing at the same time. I'll look at his screen and he'll look at my screen. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But, we'll be simultaneously sharing. And you can do that while you're in chat. That's a lot of
That's an awkward pause, sir.
Hardcore pause. But, like, you look at all this multitasking.
Well, I said awkward.
You can be in the chat with your homie. You can share your screen to your homie. The same homie can share his screen to you. And you could be streaming at the same time. All of that on one console, bro. That's crazy. So,
it is.
I think it's fantastic. I want to hear what y'all think about this whole thing.
Now, Umar is in the YouTube space here, and he was talking about, well, they didn't mention beta either in terms of that Spartacus shit, right? So they didn't mention that. But they also, he was talking about Final Fantasy Remake, Concrete Genie, Wreckfest, Battlefield 5, Farpoint. You get early access too for beta games. A lot of times you can get early access on there. So Sony Versus, now that you are up to speed, what you got to say about that? And Game Time, I see you. Okay, we're gonna move to Gamer or Game Tight, y'all. What you guys say about this? You don't gotta keep it muted unless you got shit going on in the background.
No, you good. And I think it's dope, especially if they bring out all the the old PlayStation games. And I don't know if anybody heard, but Hip Hop Gamer has said he been mentioning this shit like multiple times for like the past year that this was gonna happen.
Hey, this is actually a few years.
Yeah, he's been saying it for a while.
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was saying that they're gonna do it to where you can even put your games in, like your old games in natively. Like, you can just put the disc in and it'll work. So if they do that, man, that's a good look, in my opinion.
It is a good look. It's a good look if they do that. And what Black was saying, he was saying basically this is all speculatory. And yeah, a lot of things that Jason Schreier says, because somebody has loose lips somewhere at Sony, or at least this is probably planned leaks. You know what I'm saying? So that's a strong possibility as well. Is Fatal in here? Did he drop? No, he's there. So that's one of the things too. It wasn't really just to combine the two, like the clash those two, but it was just like some people truthfully don't know the difference, or they don't even know what PlayStation Plus is. They think it's just 2, 3, 4 games free, and you play online and some discounts. There's a lot of shit going on there.
A lot of people don't even know that you can download games on there. Like, all the PS4 games on there you can download.
Listen, to be fair, outside from the actual multiplayer aspect of PS Plus, man, the main reason to buy PS Plus is because of those goddamn deals, man. Those deals can be pretty fucking amazing at times.
Yeah, I likened it to Costco. Have you guys ever shopped at Costco before? No, but it is. You pay a month.
I like it to Costco.
like it either Costco or BJ's, right? If you go to BJ's or Costco, you pay like your $50 or $60. At least it was $50 the last time. And then you get all those crazy shits that's in there. And you get exclusive stuff in there as well. They have their own Costco or BJ brand food. And this is what I've always said with PlayStation Plus, back when they started charging for that. You know, back when on PS3 days, you know what I'm saying? They were the first to pioneer. What was it? Cloud storage. No one had that. If you were going to pay,
they're the first ones that gave out the games for every month too.
Oh, yeah, there was that.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. Yeah,
but nobody wanted to say anything.
Right after what was it there? Fucking, what year was that? 2010.
Yeah, it was like 2010, 2011, something like that.
Yeah, the thing is, my whole problem is this: I don't really give a fuck what Microsoft does on the Game Pass sector. Because I don't have an Xbox Series or any of the Xboxes. But why am I talking about it? Because I wanted to make this particular video specifically for the fan Xbox, basically. Let's call a spade. They really think that it's behind the times. And I'm like, and that Sony is copying. Microsoft used to charge you.
I don't understand that.
Bro, that shit is wild as hell. Every time I hear that shit.
Look, I have an Xbox Series S, bro. And that I got the Game Pass or whatever. It's not the same. It's really not. It's really not the same. PlayStation is not. I could see them releasing, like, if they had like some multiplayer games they got coming out down the line or whatever. I could see them releasing that day and date or something like that. But as far as like their big single player games, I don't see it happening.
No, they told you, and I think Sony has been pretty upfront with certain things. I mean, this pandemic fucked things up, and I think we were talking about it in a different space. But honestly, right, they can't make these fucking consoles fast enough, which means that you can't make a game that people can't buy, and they cost hundreds of millions of dollars either. So everybody wants everybody to jump ship and be like, yo, I want that shit exclusive. If they make something and it doesn't sell well, I mean, you only have a certain amount of PS5s and Xbox Series anyway.
Hashtag COVID ruined gaming.
And I feel like that's the reason why they
it did actually.
I feel like that's one of the reasons why they made God of War, Ragnarok, and now Horizon on both PS4 and PS5.
Before I go on, I'm sorry.
They know it's not going to be able to get to everybody that they want to get it to.
Now I wanted to say this too. Umar, it doesn't play CDs. They can, I think. They have the laser wavelength to play it. They disabled it, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why we have so many cross-gen games. There was somebody asking for Gran Turismo to be on, if it was going to be on PS4. They're like, I can't find a PS5, and I want to play it. Unfortunately, this is what it has to do. And that's one of the reasons why they moved towards, I don't know what's going on, Fatal. You got a lot of shit going on back there, man. So it's like you drag your ass across the sandpaper.
The sandpaper? Oh, I am moving in my chair, so my bad.
That's all I hear. Anyway, but
you're probably hearing me fucking.
But then again, I have nice ears. I have rat ears, so there's that.
Rat ears.
Yeah, I hear crazy.
Boy, continue the fuck on, boy.
So my whole situation is this, right? Like, that's why they were kind of moving towards PC anyway. I don't think that they really, really wanted to do that, but they spend a lot of money. I mean, they were going to eventually do it, but like, that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing. I get it. But going back to topic, and I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, Game Tight. My bad. I'm trying to juggle YouTube and this and all this other shit. You're absolutely right. People sat there and they think that game is not going to be day and date. Someone even asked this question. It was like, is that it? Is that really it? It's just combined in PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus? What do you mean that's it? You can't go on a hope and a prayer for PlayStation, for Game Pass. The premise of it sounds sweet and sounds consumer friendly, but they haven't really released any games that was day and date. Fucking third party released more day and date games than Microsoft. And then the excuse is, well, I mean, they're still making games. Well, where the fuck are they? I don't see it.
And this is another thing that I have a problem with. You got these some of the Xbox dudes make it seem like they just been getting all kinds of games day and date from Xbox when they really haven't. Outside of Halo, that's getting ready to come out, in the Forza game, they had what, Gears before that?
It was Gears, and that was what it was.
Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Battletoads.
That's what I'm saying. What other really big game did y'all get? All the other games that y'all was getting was third-party games.
Not only that, but it took years for those games to fucking come out, even though the service is 5 years.
Yeah, they just
got the Forza, and they just got they getting ready to get this Halo, and now all of a sudden they talking big shit.
But that was the thing. In the one Discord that I was telling you about, I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? Oh, so Sony's behind the time. Finally, they're doing the Game Pass thing. No, the fuck, they're not. They're not. And we already have games day and date on PS Plus. And we will see games day and date, more of them on PS Plus. Is it going to be the big shit? Absolutely not.
And that's what I see happening too. I think that Sony is just going to have a.
No, they're just going to give you games cut in pieces like they're doing with fucking Godfall.
They're going to have. Well, this is how.
Hold on, Fatal. They haven't done that though. What games they did with cutting pieces with this service? That's like 10 years old. What games was this?
No, I'm cracking a joke. I'm talking about what fucking Godfall. That Godfall release that's part of this month for PS Plus. Dude, all that is literally you're playing a trial version of that game.
But hold on. The problem here is that we just started the generation. It's only a year old. So what other games? What games can they manifest out of thin air that hasn't been created yet? The fuel of service. Usually at the beginning of the generation, you're not going to have those games like that until the generation starts to progress.
You're right. But also, if Microsoft would have actually had more fucking studios earlier on in the Xbox One generation, we wouldn't be sitting in this fucking goddamn problem.
Whose fault is that though? Like
that's Microsoft's fault.
To me, that's apologists.
That's no. That's 100% on Microsoft's fucking conscience.
But everybody's like, the reason why is like this because they didn't have
Josh. Josh, everyone's been saying that though since the generation started.
The thing is this, right? The argument should be from people that like Xbox is not, well, they didn't have the studios. How about they should have fucking bought studios so we can have games? I don't give a fuck.
What the hell do you think I just said?
No. That's not what you were saying a couple of months ago. You were talking about some shit like the reason.
No, Josh. No. I've always said right from the get-go, dude, and I've always been touting this even at the very beginning when the last generation started, right? The biggest complaint as soon as that 900p bullshit went away was the fact that Microsoft literally had no studios. Because around that time, that's when Halo 5 got announced. They shut down fucking Lionhead, that project, was it Fable fucking Legends? That shit. They had no fucking first party, dude. And from that day forward, I've been telling motherfuckers, dude, that's what Microsoft needs to do. So when they did all these acquisitions, whatever you want to call it, they're fucking late as fuck. Late as fuck to the party.
Yeah, but hold on. You're not listening to what I'm saying. What I am saying is different from what you were saying, for sure.
I'm saying the exact same thing, though.
No, you're not.
Oh, my Lord.
Because the problem should fall directly on Microsoft, not the fact that they didn't have studios, but the fact that Microsoft fucked up. That is different.
Yo, Chet, did I not just say that it was Microsoft's fault? Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that like three fucking times?
Bro, bring it down just a little bit. You screaming.
No, I'm not screaming. I'm just telling you that you're repeating exactly what the fuck I just told you, Josh.
There's a distinction, just like what Umar said in the chat.
Is it because I'm Canadian? Is that what it is?
Don't make me go down that route. You know what I'm going to say.
There it is. There's your answer. That's the reason why. It's because I'm Canadian. I get it now.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I think Microsoft. I think they fucked up.
I'm bugging, Josh. I'm bugging.
I think Microsoft fucked up when they canceled that damn Scalebound game. That shit looked kind of far. I ain't gonna lie.
It did though. Like Umar said. Umar said blame Phil Spencer. It was terrible. He's a terrible manager. All right, fine. Microsoft had the games at the time to put on Game Pass. Back then.
What games? What games?
The Fable.
What fucking games?
Listen. How you gonna ask a question to be screaming what games over and over again? I'm trying to answer it.
Go ahead.
Fable could have been one of them.
Okay. That would have been a free-to-play game.
Fucking Scalebound. It doesn't matter what it is. Something.
Scalebound probably would have been there. Yeah, then what else? What after Scalebound?
Then you had what do you call it? Scalebound. You have the what do you call it? We just did. Oh fuck.
Drawing a blank because there was nothing the fuck else after Scalebound.
Everything that they released that was exclusive to them. Quantum, whatever the fuck that shit was. All that shit could have been on that bitch, and they decided not to put it on there.
2 games.
It doesn't matter. Whose fault is that? I keep saying it. Something. It could have been something, Fato. Somebody could have did something.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But you're missing the bigger point here, right? So if Scalebound would have been that game, right, that everybody would have ran out and bought that Xbox, right? And let's be honest, I heard a lot of motherfuckers saying that shit for years since that cancellation. But what the fuck are you going to play after you're done with Scalebound?
But the question here, it could have been Fable. But the question here, right, is here's the question. Here's the question, right? Why are Xbox continually talking about they have all this shit to fucking play that's day and date?
Listen, I can only tell you from my perspective, and that's it.
You are agnostic, so you don't count.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't count, and I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, man. That the vast majority of Xbox gamers, right, who are out here preaching, praising, dick sucking, whatever the fuck they want to do when it comes to Xbox shit, is fake fucking bullshit, bro. Like. Straight up fucking fake. That's all it is. That's all it fucking is.
And I can't even get look. I can't say stop putting yourself in those people's thing. Don't defend. Don't like. I'm not thinking that way. We all know that you don't think that way.
No, I know that, Josh. I know that. Not a part of but I'm making. Yeah, I know I'm not part of the conversation, but at the same time, I still have an opinion on it, though.
But I'm curious. There was a conversation. I had to remove myself from that conversation. I asked the bro, man, if he's listening right now, I asked the dude, why don't you join Spaces so you can tell me how much ass PSN is or PS Plus? Tell me what exactly it is. And the motherfucker said it's because it's you have to measure quality by what it's doing against its competition. What the fuck what sense does that make?
And here's another thing too.
Wait, Josh, hold on.
If you look at PS Plus's games that they give out every month, and you compare
much better.
With Gold,
much better.
If you compare it to Gold is garbage.
Yeah,
and
Gold has been complete dog shit.
Do as much because you got Game Pass.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. I asked the dude to come in and say what he had to speak his piece. He said that, and I tell you, you were laughing about this shit, Fado. You have to compare the product against its competition to tell what quality it is. If I had a literal piece of shit, and if I want to see how much of a piece of shit it is, comparing it to another piece of shit, what the fuck difference does it make when both of them are still pieces of fucking shit?
You're right. They're both pieces of shit, but my pieces of shit is bigger than your pieces of shit.
I was like, that shit don't make no fucking sense. I was so baffled at this. And the dude is intelligent. He's extremely intelligent. Not because of the so-called big words that he used. Not because of the big words that he used. That's not what it is. I see past that shit. You can use irrevocably and all.
I don't know why people do that though. I don't know why people fucking resort to that though.
I can see clean through that shit. I know you know how to calculate for whatever reason.
Yeah,
you're illogical. That's the problem. So the thing is, I said no. You judge quality based off of the fucking quality of what the product is. The competition does not dictate that shit, and on top of it, they're not competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, when it comes to that Project Spartacus or whatever it's called, if they put the majority of PlayStation 1 through PlayStation 3 games on that motherfucker, and from what Hip Hop Gamer was saying, that there's gonna be some type of way that you can the games will be upgraded, like they'll run and play better. Based off the PS5 system or whatever. I mean, to me, man, that's a That's a big deal to me.
See, and that's what I was saying too.
That's a huge deal because think about how many PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 3 games there is.
You see, here's another Josh, I just thought of this, dude. Check this out, right? So, and I'm glad you brought this up too as well there, man. So, Microsoft themselves, or not Microsoft, sorry, Sony themselves, right? All they're doing is just combining both their services together. That's all they're doing, right? So, that's simple, whatever the case may be. People on the Xbox side don't need to say a fucking thing at all, period. They're just fueling something that doesn't need to be fueled, and it makes them look fucking dumb and stupid as always in the long run. You know what I mean? However, though, by them putting PS1, PS2, and PS3 games on that combination of that tier is fucking genius. Because they're doing a proper way, and plus, if what you were saying earlier about them allowing fucking discs to be put in your system too as well, that's another fucking step further. That's something that Microsoft cannot do outside from certain IPs. Now, Sony, on the other hand, they can literally have it so any game can go in there and it runs perfectly fine. Dude, that's fucking right there. That's fucking, what do you call it? Backwards compatibility, fucking keeping that legacy going and shit like that. It's something that Microsoft can only do, but limited to doing.
Yeah, because didn't they just announce that they couldn't do any more games or something like that?
That's why. Why do you think he came out with that speech there? Fucking 2 days after he came out and dropped all those 70 games, right?
Right.
So he came out and he literally said fucking immediately after that, dude, about the emulation, fucking preserving emulation bullshit or whatever the case may be. Legal emulation, he said. Fucking whatever. And a lot of people ignored that article and fucking didn't really think too much of it. But that is something that you're going to eventually see happen. Whereas games or any game or any platform, period, will be streamed fucking via xCloud to any device. So download wise, limited.
All right, so this is what I want to say before we move on to the next topic here. This is pertinent to the next topic. What I believe is going to happen, this is the most logical explanation as to what's going to happen. They're still going to use the streaming portion.
Oh, of course.
Right? I think so what I think this emulation patent is to upscale it to 4K. I don't know if you were here when I said this, but to upscale it to 4K, right? These old-ass games that are 320p and 480i have the what do you call it? The emulator put that shit to fucking 4K so it'll look better when you're streaming it. But there's also the fact that they had that CPU spoofing situation, and we all know that the PlayStation 3, the most difficult thing to emulate was that fucking CPU. So
cell processor,
it is very interesting to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they do that too.
People are like, I thought you said that services wasn't, nigga. People are not excited for fucking services. They're excited for the fucking emulation and how that's going to work. We don't even know what it is. Relax, bitch. Relax.
Hey, that's facts. And PlayStation did.
Hey, it don't matter if you're excited for this.
Fatal, let him speak. Damn.
No, I was just saying, PlayStation released that patent that they were going to do their own graphical upscaling engine, which is to coincide too with AMD's Fidelia FX partnership with AMD. So, yeah, I think you're right on that.
And I think it's going to be that way. But you know what, though? You know what is the most interesting thing? And we're going to move straight on to the next topic, and that is settling for mediocrity. Fredo, you're not going to like this. You're not going to like it.
Everybody plays mediocre games, bro.
And that's what I mean.
Everybody in the chat here has, so relax.
And that's what I mean. My question is that, are we settling for mediocrity nowadays? No. What's causing... How, nigga? How you going to answer for everybody?
I'm answering for you. I was telling you my answer.
That's your answer. You're mediocre as fuck anyway. So there's that.
Well, everybody is, because it's all based on people's fucking taste and preferences.
It's all love and games, man. I'm not even going.
Fuck you, man.
So, are we settling? I believe back in the day, we used to really, really take to heart some of these fucking games that we would play. We used to take a lot of that shit was just damn, we really was going hard body. We had a lot of we had a lot of culture, and we had a lot of integrity for our shit. We didn't want no pieces of shit. And now we get stuff like Battlefield. Niggas falling through floors. Frame rate is freezing for 2 fucking seconds, and people are still saying, yo, this is pretty good. It's all right. It's good. And here's where Fatal's going to have a problem.
What?
You got Halo, right? And you have all of the media outlets.
Hold on. We gonna cut the cap. I don't like how you use Battlefield as an example. You didn't bring up that Grand Theft Auto.
See, right here, this is the problem. This is the fucking problem with this conversation.
Hold on. I'm going down a fucking line, Larry. All the way down the line.
You talk about games that you actually play because you didn't play Battlefield.
See, I'm with Black on this one, dude. I'm sorry, I have to side with Black on this one.
I'm going down the line. Can I go down the line?
Fuck your line. I'm butting in, motherfucker. I'm butting in.
Can I go down the line now?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll mute.
So, you know what I mean? You know, yo, Thug, what's going on? Overwatch is the greatest game ever, and there's no way that it's mediocre. Yes, dude. What's going on, Thug? So the media sat down and saw that this game was piecemeal the fuck, saw that it had frame rate issues, resolution issues, talking about Halo, and still said it was one of the best games they ever fucking played. You know what I'm saying?
I can't
I'm
argue on that.
Shut up. So my whole thing is this. I'm going to go down the line, right? I purchased the Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, which is definitely not the Definitive Edition. I'm going to call myself out on it because I'm a man. That's why I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Right?
Props.
I didn't think. I looked at that shit and I'm like, I played GTA 3, which is the most simple of that generation. So I'm like, it's not that bad. But there were so many things that were removed. There were glitches. Some missions didn't finish. And I'm like sitting there and I'm just really turning the other cheek, the other ass cheek. And I get to Vice City, and Vice City is fucked up too. Songs are fucking missing. They make billions of fucking dollars, but yet we don't got no fucking songs. Them shits are missing. You couldn't pay the fucking estate for Billie Jean. For real.
Wait, they removed that song from the fucking Definitive Edition?
They removed it years ago.
Okay,
They removed it.
Never touched that shit.
They removed it back in PS2 days. Like the later games that were being pressed, they had to remove it. So like they were already trying to get that shit out of there. It's expensive. And Michael Jackson was like, no, I don't want you to have it. No. Tito, turn it off.
Yo, bitch, shut up, man.
Tito
don't diss MJ like that, bro.
Tito called Rockstar. I didn't authorize that. That's the only reason why I sold better. Rockstar. Yeah, I don't want you to have it. No, Rockstar. No.
Oh my god, dude.
That's ignorant. What you do to me? How you do me that?
What you're doing right now is fucking exactly that, sir.
No, that's how he said. That's how it went down. He was like, why you do me that way? I'm not living this way. And then he cried. He was like, ah! I'm sorry, but anyway. So that's how I imagined it. That's how it went.
Wow. Good Lord, man.
What's going on, Nightmares? What you gotta say about this?
I'm just confused. I didn't know they removed Billie Jean, you know.
Hell yeah, they removed Billie Jean.
That's bullshit.
Yo, I got you. Okay, so the game starts off, and I remember this game like fucking like clockwork. Yo, that shit turned on and was like, I poked my head. This is Tommy Passetti. He was like, I poked my head out of the gutter for 1 freaking second, and fate shuffled shit in my face. And then Bro was like, go get some rest, and he ran inside the building. And you know when you get into the car, immediately Billie Jean turns on. That shit was quiet as shit. Close the door, kadoosh. I said, oh, where the fuck is Billie Jean? It's nothing. And didn't say shit. It was quiet as kept.
I remember getting into that car. As soon as that thing come on, bro, I was just bopping my head as well. So, oh shit, Billie Jean.
That shit was quiet, man. No, but that's what to be honest with you, when you go back and look at these games, I mean, they were revolutionary for the time because we couldn't do a lot of those things. But honestly, they weren't that, especially Vice City wasn't that great mission wise. It was when they did San Andreas, when they started to do a little bit better. But at least it was ambitious. The games that we have nowadays, just fucking, what is it? Free to play after free to play after free to play.
Mm-hmm.
Shooter after shooter after shooter. It's just mediocre as shit. You know what I mean? It's remakes after remakes, and we just were like, yeah, well, okay. You know, it's okay. Call of Duty just kept doing it over and over again. It's just fucked up Call of Duties over and over. 2K is fucked up.
Hey, hold on, man. Now I gotta call Cap. Because if they remade The Getaway tomorrow, you'd be all over that shit.
Yeah, even if it was broken?
No, not if it was broken. I'm just saying if they do like a remake.
I hear Josh like,
I don't know Jumbo.
If it's broken,
you don't know what I'm talking about. He
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know.
He full of shit.
Yo, Josh. Fucking kill me, dude.
But I'm not, listen, when people make these subjects, yo, this is the funny thing. People make these subjects and they think that I'm excluded. I'm a whole different breed of nigga. When I'm saying these subjects, I'm casting myself in the fire as well. Oh, yeah, I'll buy that shit. I'll buy that shit. You know what I want? Just give me the PS2 version with fucked up frame rate and controls, and I'll be still happy with that shit. I wanted to look exactly how I remembered that shit. Don't even touch it. But we are not asking for things that are revolutionary anymore. These gamers back in the, or these developers back in the day were fighting for your dollar. They were fighting for your dollar. Motherfuckers doing everything that it took. Now you get Street Fighter V partially complete. And then you got people buying Street Fighter V. I mean, I don't want to call any names.
Man, that shit was fucking hilarious, man, when that shit happened.
Hey, you know what? I think everybody has that game or that series, that IP, that they have to get day one, bro, no matter what fucking state it releases. They just gotta have it. It's that nostalgia factor, bro. So when you go back and go get that GTA or I get that Street Fighter, that next Street Fighter game, even though we know that shit might not be all up to par, bro. You're like, man, I gotta have that shit day one. Like I can't wait for that. I'm gonna wait for that patch. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got that game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got that game that hits you straight in the fucking stomach, man. It's that shit, you know. And it's like nostalgia is one thing. I don't know what it is. Can somebody speak? Tell me I'm preaching in this bitch.
What it is, it's FOMO. That's what it is. You're missing out.
Are you sure it's just FOMO, or is it just?
Not just that. It's not just that either. But yeah, like the way I look at it too is why are they going to play the old generation games, right? And then have people have the expectation if they're going to do that, and they release a new one, that it should be on somewhat of a level of because I'll use GTA Definitive Edition. I was going to buy that, and then I, heard your feedback on it, as well as when you don't see any gameplay before a game. Cyberpunk was the first one to do it, right? Where they were giving out codes, the PC codes to people, but wasn't showing any of the console gameplay. And then when I noticed that GTA was doing the same thing after they pulled the original ones from the PlayStation Store, right? And I'm only speaking PlayStation Store because that's the console that I have. I was like, man, that's kind of weird for a trilogy to come out with no gameplay leading up to it, right? Not even a gameplay trailer. But people again were like, oh well, Rockstar is, by the grace of God, like they're one of the top developers that are up there. So I think it's it's that perception of thinking that like these companies won't fuck you over. You know what I mean? But at the same time, all they want.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish.
Oh no, that's what I was gonna say. I was just saying like. You have like this expectation that like these companies, these top tier companies, because of what they're doing with like their current video games like GTA 5, that you're gonna get that same type of detail in a remake, right? But when you don't see anything from that or from those games, you kind of got to be like, at least for me, I'm kind of like, okay, why is that? Especially when a game is going to be dropping in like 2 days or a week, right? So I think it is the fear of missing out because people are like, oh, I need to get that game. GTA Trilogy, $60 or $70 for a 3-pack, essentially three phenomenal games. And then when it comes out, everybody's praising it or some people are taking it. You know what I'm saying? To try to get people out there. And again, it's influencers that have that as well.
Well, let me say this. First of all, don't say that I was trying to praise that shit, Fader. I just said
you got that. You got that. Damn it! I didn't say it. I didn't say it low enough.
No, I'm talking about Fader. The thing is, I kept it 100. I keep it 100.
I know you did, motherfucker. I was just.
I said all those things that were buggy in that game were buggy 10 years ago. Or whenever the fucking shit came out.
How the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen.
But it's not just that though. Like you got the greed, and just like what Umar said on YouTube, he says everybody's expectations have been lowered over the years.
Man, it's the most amazing thing about all this crap though, man, is the fact that we should have all seen this coming years ago, bro. That we were going in this direction, man. Jesus Christ. That's all we are, man. We've been in the greed fucking era since the 360 generation, dude. Halfway through the 360 generation is when this shit started.
No. This started.
Yes.
The explosion of great games was the NES and Genesis.
No. I'm talking about no. I'm talking about the actual fucking what these fucking developers are doing.
It started to decline in that generation, the 360 PS3.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Now, so here's the thing, but people are very selective. Some people can get away with it. Rockstar, Nintendo, even Nintendo. Y'all remember when Nintendo was like fucking the golden age? You remember that shit?
Nintendo still is in the golden age.
No, he's not.
I got a
yes,
question.
They are.
What's up?
Have we ever been this long without a new GTA?
Nope.
No.
See, that's what I thought.
We went an entire generation without one, whereas in the 360 we had GTA 4, the awesome expansions, and then we had GTA 5 right at the end.
Right.
And then PS fucking 4 and then fucking shitbox 1? Nothing.
I wouldn't even count the PS4 because it didn't originally.
Well, correction, sorry. We did get Red Dead Redemption 2, but we all know everybody hates that fucking game.
Well, that's not GTA though. That's the thing.
I know it's not GTA, but it's still a Rockstar game for fucking Jesus Christ.
Rockstar as a whole has been slacking. They've released 2 games within the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, 360, man. What do you mean? During the 360, man, you know how many games Rockstar pumped out, man? Like they had like fucking dozens.
I'm talking about within the last 10 years.
Oh well, if you're talking about that's what I mean. If you're talking about the fucking the PS4 and the Xbox One generation,
no. I want you to think about something. Hold on. The PS3 and Xbox came out in 2013. It's almost 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Rockstar, for whatever reason, fucking just came out with GTA 5 and said, you know what, man, let's milk the fuck out of this, and they did for a whole generation. Yeah, they gave us Red Dead 2, which was awesome, but compared to like the amount of games they released the previous generation, dude, it's night and fucking day.
I don't like when the that's why I say the PS2 was like the pinnacle of all fucking games, man. Like
Facts.
This is why it was so successful.
That's why they call it the golden age of gaming. That's why they call it that.
It was so successful that you didn't even have to think about if it was a bad game or not. Like you could just fucking land on something, and even if it was mediocre, it's still like, for instance, God Hand.
Oh,
that's a shitty game.
Bro, that game is amazing. What the fuck you mean?
Wait, hold on. That was so underrated was the Scarface game. I don't care what nobody says.
Right. There was a Scarface game that was better. It was better than Vice City.
Godfather, the original Godfather game that most people fucking forget about and shit. Yeah.
It was better than Vice City, but unfortunately, you know what I mean? But there was a lot. Do y'all remember PsyOps?
Dude! Yes, I do.
That original fucking game.
But this is what I was talking about earlier with Sony. If they do that fucking shit with the Spartacus shit with all the PlayStation games, bro, that's a game changer. I don't care what nobody say.
PsyOps, the Mindgate conspiracy, bro. What the fuck? Why did Midway, of all developers, have to go under during the 360 era, bro? Like, fuck the industry. Seriously.
Nightmares. What you going to say again? I see you were saying something.
No, I was going to say that PsyOps, that's the one when you had like telekinesis and stuff, innit?
Yep. That game was so much fun.
There was that one. It was even if it wasn't your cup of tea, it was just like, all right, cool. And then games will go through renaissance within themselves.
Yep.
Burnout was like this thing, right? Whatever. and then it transformed into one of the greatest racing games of all time.
Burnout 3 takedown for the win, baby.
Like, for real, like, I was like, what the fuck?
You know, another game that was fire on the PS2 was Total Overdose. I don't know if y'all ever played.
Yeah, dude. The Mexican tail. Yes.
Yeah, that shit was
yes.
PS2 had so many fire games, bro.
Bro, the amount of creativity behind that game. You shoot a motherfucker that has a hat, and the hat will fly up, and you can actually walk underneath it, and the hat will land on top of your head. And you get points for that shit. Fire. You get style points for that shit, bro.
You want to know something?
That's what games should be, man.
But
games like that.
I said this about Rockstar in another space with dude, and I'm like, man, Rockstar, they don't have no competition when it comes to that genre. They had competition. They had competition.
You're right. They don't have competitions, but they used to have a shit ton of fucking clones.
Exactly. They had a whole bunch of, and then it wasn't like they was bad games. They were good games.
Yep.
And the thing about it is, right? This is the thing that kills me. I don't know what created that kind of freedom. You know what I think it is? It's just going to be so anti-consumer. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers had to compete on one platform. They couldn't just stay on one platform and be like, okay, I'm cool, fine, whatever. Like, if you wanted your money, you had to fight for that fucking money if you were a developer. You were going against Grand Theft Auto, Metal Gear Solids, Resident Evils. You had to do crazy shit to be noticed. And this is why we got PsyOps and Burnout and Black.
You know what? I'm actually really glad that you said that. I'm really glad that you said that because that makes a lot of fucking sense, bro. Because it makes a lot of sense in the sense of having like all the game, like look at all the games that Capcom made. Like Mega Man that had the tightest fucking platform controls, man. To this day. Like
beautiful Joe, like they were doing all sorts of things.
That's what I'm saying, man. The creativity.
Hey, even the Simpsons game was fire, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You can play it on any fucking game.
That game is a classic. The what was it? Simpson Hit and Run, man?
Dude. Yeah, a GTA Simpsons themed game, bro. Man, why do you think people want that to come back? And there is a remaster coming back, by the way.
And I think honestly, I swear to you guys, I really wasn't planning on saying that, but now that I think about it, I'm such a fucking genius in this bitch.
Shut up,
Sometimes
when the consoles separated into 3, right? It was like I could stay in my own cul-de-sac and I don't have to do shit.
What do you mean?
I don't got to do a motherfucking thing. You had Xbox and they had their own thing and they were uncontested. The Gears of War and Halo, they didn't have to compete with anybody because that was the only fucking thing really big. It was just on that platform. Now, Sony had to fight for their freedom. This is why we have the Sony that we have today because they had to make that platform viable. But if you peeped it, Sony was trying to do everything that it took. They made all sorts of fucking games and genres. Do y'all remember fucking Warhawk and Starhawk? Which to me was...
I remember.
Yeah, those are good games.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. You remember the DLC they got announced? You remember?
Sony got so many IPs they sitting on too, man.
God, yes.
The thing about it is, and there's another component with this shit too. Because, Sony has all these IPs and shit like that, right? I mean, they have a lot. Like, if they were to make a Smash Brothers type game, they don't need third party at all.
Nope.
But
they already did. That game sucked.
They already had to partner with everybody. That was the biggest problem. So, even though that was the thing, Sony was busting their ass making all sorts of things. And they were trying to push the industry forward, or at least to differentiate themselves. Because it's all about money. We already know that. They had the whole 3D shit going on. They looking like shit. We're going to do 3D. We're doing a move controller. We're doing all sorts of shit. We had the kill zones that came out, and that elevated Guerrilla Games. I remember
Nintendo did 3D better, man.
I remember what do you call it? Killzone. Killzone was not that great of a game.
The first one wasn't. Nope.
The first one wasn't. And they had to step it the fuck up. They were like, yo, bro, we need something that looked crazy. And then they was like, this is what we kind of want to do with the PS3 or whatever the case is. And they was like, well, fine, fuck it, I did. They was like, wait. They was like, no, it's cool. You can make it look like that, can't you? You good?
Yep.
They already have like aftermath about this interview type shit where they were talking about how the PS3 was. But it forced everybody to be on an end game. And guess what happened with the PS4, though? Problem with the PS4, you had some good quality games. Yeah, right. But we didn't ever, you know what I mean? Like, they were few and far in between. Towards the end of the generation, it was nowhere close to the amount of games that we had on PS3. Nowhere close for Sony. And they were closing down studios left and right. So it's like, it just seems like we're getting worse and worse. And now we're kind of building that up again. This is the reason why stuff like service, like the Game Pass type of things, that will fuck up the industry. I don't give a fuck who it is. Spartacus, Narticus, Carticus, fucking Pass, whatever the fuck it is. If you release something that's on day and date, then you take away that competition, that drive. You know what I'm saying? You take that drive away, and because they're like, you're gonna, depending on the subscription count, I'm gonna get paid regardless.
Hey, so let me ask you something. So do you feel that way even when it comes to games as a service, like the multiplayer games?
See, I don't have an native issue with games as a service because I do think that,
as far as like the subscription shit, because I think that's what Sony's gonna end up doing.
What are you talking about? Like, can you explain more?
Like they're gonna release a lot of like their multiplayer and like games as a service games on there.
Oh, you mean like make the multiplayer into something that's free?
Yeah,
I do believe that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I do believe that they're going to end up. They're still going to make the single player experience because now Sony. You know, it's funny because sometimes when you make something and you don't quite know what the future is going to be for yourself, and then all of a sudden, right after you make it, something catches on and it helps you to see what you're actually good at. And what happened was that Sony saw that they were good at, you know, story-driven games, single-player games. So that ain't going away. That lures people into the network. But Sony also has to have residual income. The Apex, you have a lot of background going on, Fatal.
That's not me.
Nick, it has to be you.
No, it's not me.
I hear you drinking and all sorts of shit.
I'm not even drinking anything. What are you talking about?
Lies. This nigga. I just want to hear you say.
Man, always gonna blame the fucking Canuck, bitch.
So as it stands, that's what I personally believe is going on with Sony. They will eventually make these free to play games and try to get residual. Like, I guarantee you, mark my fucking words. The Last of Us factions. Mark my fucking words. Y'all can
that will be free to play, and that will also be day and date on PC as well.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I believe that. I do believe that for sure.
That's why it's taking so fucking long. But you know what? The funny thing is like, this is the problem, right? I have to get it off my chest about The Last of Us.
Oh my god, not again.
Oh, I'm ready for this. Ready for this.
Do we really have to talk about this again?
I'm trying to look. I have to get off my listen. There was a lot, and I'm gonna say the facts. Facts. There's a lot of turmoil when it came to Naughty Dog before the game got leaked. They said something north of 60-70% of their workforce quit. Why? It was a whole idea. It was a whole change with that studio internally, and it held up the fucking game. They kept that shit under wraps, and I think that's one of the reasons why it got leaked as well, because of either they got fired or they didn't like the direction that Naughty Dog was going. You know, with the whole pandering, we don't know what the fuck happened with it. But the reason why I brought that up is because it ultimately hurt Naughty Dog and Sony really badly, because there is a game on PC that is almost identical to The Last of Us, but open world. It's almost exactly what they were trying to plan out. And they waited too fucking long with this factions, trying to pick up the fucking pieces. It's too late.
Are you talking about Vigor?
I believe so.
Okay,
you know more about it.
I played it in early access on Xbox a long time ago. Yeah, it's got like that a lot, man. Yeah.
Now people want to jump on.
But I mean, so is fucking Escape from Tarkov.
The first Factions was fire.
Yes, it was.
That first Factions was the shit. I played the shit.
Oh no! The first Factions was fucking tier 1.
And I feel like the second one is gonna be even better.
I don't think so though. They're doing.
You doubt Naughty Dog? How dare you, sir?
They're biting way more than what they can chew. And shut up, Umar. I saw you. They're biting off way more than they can chew. They're trying to do something different, and then somebody beat them to the punch. That's the problem. Whatever they're trying to do to make it like an open world thing, whatever the case is, they already got
it like an open world thing.
Say it again.
Who said they're trying to make it like an open world?
They're hiring. When they were hiring people, when they were hiring
with The Last of Us, though.
When they were hiring people, they were saying that they needed some people to have open world experience about some multiplayer game that they're making. And no, it is speculatory game for sure, but one could extrapolate that this is probably the factions that they're referring to. What other multiplayer game are they making? They don't make multiplayer games. So what is it?
I mean, it could be anything. That's what I'm saying.
It's true, but what other multiplayer games would they be making when they said that the factions was the multiplayer?
I mean, hell, I don't know.
This is cat, man. Yeah,
I don't really. I mean, even if they didn't, I mean, shit, Guerrilla never made an open world game before they made Horizon, so shit.
So Josh,
Horizon's not that fucking bad, bro. It's decent. It's not amazing. It's not a masterpiece. It's decent.
You talking about Horizon Zero Dawn, Fatal?
No, I was talking about fucking Forza Horizon.
Okay.
I was talking about Forza Horizon, not Horizon Zero Dawn. I wouldn't dare say that. Josh,
wait. What were you talking about again, Larry? Black.
I said you need to cut the cat, man. This man is a known Last of Us creator. He's a known Naughty Dog hater. Don't let him sit up here and talk about factions.
Speak those facts there, bro. Speak those facts, bro. Listen. No, okay, listen. Hold on. Okay, here's the thing, right? After recently playing it, I completely understand why everybody is fucking shitting on that game, including yourself, Josh. Oh, believe me, I see it crystal fucking clear. But that shit don't bother me, though.
No, I'm not. What I care, the fucking Last of Us situation has nothing to do with what you think it is.
Okay, then enlighten me.
If I remove all the story, to me, the game did not. Out of 7 years, the game did not progress far enough.
You talk about from mechanics, right? You talk about from a mechanics standpoint. Okay, then that is something that I will agree with you on. I will agree with you on that. Yes. But it's exactly, Black. It's still a damn good fucking game, though, man. From an animation standpoint,
I'm not saying that. We're still talking about expectations, and not expectation. I'm sorry. We're still talking about the settling for mediocrity. It may be good. It may be good looking in terms of animations, but if the game just looked like, for instance, Killzone Shadowfall, right? People shit on that shit all the time. It's one of the most beautiful games of all fucking time. But mechanically, that shit is dry. Dry as fuck.
I mean, the franchise technically is. I mean, the multiplayer was designed for seniors to play. I mean,
doesn't matter. If that game, look, and back in the day, if that game was so good, the numbers would have reflected.
I don't know if it was that good.
Wait, man, you gotta please stop cutting me off or cutting people off. My bad, man. I'm trying to talk. But the problem with The Last of Us, right? I mean, not Last of Us. The problem with Killzone. There's a big problem with Killzone. Is that it looks good, the Shadowfall. It just doesn't play well. And people can always admit that that's a beautiful looking game. It just doesn't have the mechanics. And for me, when I play The Last of Us, the mechanics are just not where I wanted it to be.
What? I mean, I highly disagree.
And that's cool. We are all adults and we could disagree, and that's cool. But for me, in my standards,
like I think the gameplay was the best part of that game for me. At least
the game is good. The game functions well. Where I wanted it to be is a different story. What do you got to say about that, Nightmare?
The thing is, with Last of Us, I was waiting for quite a long time. I'll be honest with you, first thing happens. I don't mention it since someone's played it, but I literally put that shit down for about 4 days.
Say it again. You were breaking up. What about 4 days?
I said after the initial intro on it, what happens when you're Ellie and you watch the other guy take his beating and that. I put the game down for about 4 or 5 days, bro. I was fucking fuming. I was fuming.
And that got spoiled to me. To me, you know what it felt like? You have a decent meal, right? The meal is fucking immaculate. You know what I mean? It looks like that steak from the Matrix. I know we all old as shit. You know that steak from the Matrix? That looked nice. You know what I mean? And then the fucking waiter. I mean, I didn't sneeze on it, but you know what I mean? You be looking like, ugh.
Well, I love the last one. I thought it was brilliant. Even the second one, the second one took a different, obviously, route, but I still liked it.
And I'm not mad. And again, I'm not mad at it. What my biggest problem is the direction that they're going. But my whole situation is the settling for mediocrity. I wanted something to be. Have you guys played Metro Exodus?
What about it?
Now that game had horrible mechanics, and at least the mechanics were clunky. But you know how it was like an open world type of situation. You had to survive. I kind of wanted it to be like more open than what it was, and have real elements of either, you know, you had to crawl through things and platform and all that other shit. I kind of really wanted that to be a thing.
And you talking about The Last of Us?
The Last of Us Part 2. Like, I mean, like when you do resource scouting.
I mean,
like
I get it, but I don't think that's the type of game they was trying to make, though.
I get it, but again,
they were trying to go to more toward a linear type of game,
and that's fine. But they tried to open it up, and it failed miserably when they opened it. And like I said in the last space, what they ended up doing was making that big ass area with you and Dina, and you could barely do anything in that big ass area. You got 4 drawers that you could search through, and that was the end of it. If it was open, I would have loved to have, like in the multiplayer, right? We played the multiplayer. You know, you can go inside almost all the buildings that you can see. You know what I'm saying? That would have been fucking hot, and then mix that shit. You know, like that would have been hot to kind of like really do some resource, man. It don't need to be open world, but like don't have it wasted space. You know what I mean? Have more animations that require you to like slide and run and jump and crawl and climb up the fucking buildings and shit like that. Not just this linear path. I have a problem with linearity in general. And I said this in the other spaces. I really want Naughty Dog to do open world, but they're not going to do that. It's easier to do.
Hey, I've said the same thing. I would love for Naughty Dog to make an open world game, bro. I think they could really I think they could knock it out for real.
And I do too. I want them to fucking knock that shit clean out of the fucking park. And I know they can.
I think they could.
It's going to take some time because Naughty Dog is not as big as they need to be to do a proper open world game with the amount of detail that they can do. Because you got to have a keen eye on detail to know what matters and what doesn't. Like for Red Dead Redemption, horse scrotum shrinking when it's cold is wasted detail. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think Naughty Dog does good with pay attention to detail?
No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is that they need more people to complete that vision. You need a lot of people to cover a big base. Think about it. When you create an open world game, you still need like litter, trash, all the other stuff. You got to know how to put it and how trash falls, and you need a lot of research. You can't just make an open world game and keep it moving.
Wait, so is Gorilla bigger than Naughty Dog?
Gorilla is bigger than Naughty Dog.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I agree.
But the game that Gorilla made, there's a lot of procedural rendering when it comes to that shit, and it's just rendering. Really, to be honest with you, let's keep it a buck. It's grasslands. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, you know, according to that second one, I don't know, man.
No, the second one is different, but also,
talking about live towns and all kinds.
But also, think about it though. Well, think about it. But also, when it comes to Guerrilla Games, right? This is not their first rodeo at this point in time. They're really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? So the stuff that they're in is 5 years. It's 5 years in the making. They got their feet wet, and now they're going to go ham on it. I'm pretty sure of it. Like I will bet so much money on that game being an excellent fucking game. I will bet so.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I agree.
Now, does anyone have anything else to add with this second topic before we move on to the third? Settling for mediocrity. Does anybody have anything to add on this? No? Okay. Right now, we are going to get into the meat of things. It's going to get dark. This last topic is usually an off-topic section. But I figured fellow gamers think about more than just video games. We got shit that we think about, heavy shit. And what I want to talk about here is who really runs things in this world that we live in.
Freemasons.
Freemasons, you say? Don't do it. Don't do it. Just be serious. Be serious about it. Be serious about it.
I work with Freemasons, so I hear this shit all the time.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
So Sony versus said, what do you say? Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley.
How so?
Well, just look at the world that we live in. Everything's connected to the internet. Everything's moving into AI, which is just computers in general. From chip shortages to consoles to cars to even a digital lifestyle as far as like your phone goes. You pretty much need a computer to operate in today's modern day and age.
Okay. Go on, Nightmares.
That's facts, bro. You can't do nothing now unless you've got a phone attached to you or a bank card in your pocket or some shit like that.
But whose fault is that, though?
That's my missus' fault, in all fairness, because she takes all my fucking money, so.
Bro, hope she hear this shit. That shit's not going to be good for you. No, no. But I will say this, right? Because I'm the type of dude that really, really gets deep into shit, right? And I honestly believe that there's so much more that meets the eye when it comes to this shit. I know I'm not the only one that thinks about this shit, though. But like technology, which I will agree on you on that point, technology is so, oh man, it fucked us all up. It fucked us all up. I saw some fucked up shit. The reason why I didn't get no sleep today, I had to take a nap and I basically was asleep for a little bit. But I saw some fucked up shit, guys. This kid, and this is going to be serious. This kid supposedly in Texas committed suicide. He jumped off of some sort of small little bridge and I guess he choked himself, right? And he was there for a couple of days, right? You know what happened? These two girls that were 16 and 17 found his body. I want you guys to guess what they did.
I'm gonna say took pictures or some shit. That's what everyone does now, isn't it?
For the gram. She did something worse. She did this for likes. The guy, when he was dead, she took, and you can find this on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's a short, by the way. She took his necklace off of him. And posted it on. And she robbed the dead. She robbed the corpse. And then posted that on TikTok again. Oh, you remember that time when we found the dead body this morning? And had the dudes, I guess they watched it, had the dude's necklace on them. Dancing. Didn't give a fuck. We are so desensitized by technology and do anything for the fucking likes. It's insane to me. People would do anything for clout. Any fucking thing. And we live in this weird hive mind world right now. People don't even have any individuality. You just, you know, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to get mad because reasons. You know what I mean? And it's a shame. I'm going to get mad. I'm going to like things for reasons. It happens rampant in our own gaming community. Don't even have most people don't even have their own brains in terms of what they like or what they dislike. People just jumped on Red Dead Redemption, said it was the best game of all time, and didn't even finish the game. Now, why is that? I look at this and you can see the flow of where everything gets funneled, how people's mindsets. Did you guys know in the United States, our government spends billions of dollars, billions on researching dating websites?
Hmm?
Yeah.
What the fuck's that got to do with anything?
I don't know, but it's verifiable. Why? When I say billions, I mean billions. It's insane to me. Why would you put that much money on there? You know what I'm saying? And, people don't ask questions anymore. You know what I'm saying? One of the most glaring things that people don't ask, and this is a sensitive topic, is obviously what we're dealing with this pandemic. I want to ask you guys a question. Now, I'm not even going to talk about it directly, but if somebody catches COVID and survives, right? Wouldn't you like to know, like when you catch a cold or when you catch a stomach virus, you typically don't get it again, that same strain, right? Wouldn't you want to know what happens after somebody catches COVID? What's the aftermath? Can they catch it again? When you want to know that, the information is not out there for you, though.
Well, I've had COVID, and my missus had COVID, and my young daughter had COVID. That was in March this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've never caught it again. I've had one vaccine thing. I meant to have two, but I've only had one. It's too busy, bro. I've got time.
So there's one thing, but the science is not out there for you. Have to dig and you have to take antibody tests, but you have to pay for antibody tests. You have to pay for that.
Yeah, I think over here it's £80. So I don't know what
you can get the vaccine shot for free, but you have to pay to test to see if you have to have the the antibodies for what you do, because that's how your body works. The reason why I bring that up is because these are these questions. Why aren't anyone asking these questions? You know what I mean? Why is your government putting these vaccines in Burger Kings and McDonald's? Like, if you want it, you know what I'm saying? How come, at least in the US, they want you to get this particular vaccine, right? But they don't help you with other health issues. You know what I mean? Diabetes, high blood pressure, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about this vaccine. People don't even ask, how are they getting funded? Does anyone know how they get funded? Why they can make billions of fucking needles? Does anybody ask those questions? Who's funding them? Because it doesn't come from the air.
I know with my personal experience, where I work in Freemasons in Westminster in London, yeah? Mm-hmm. Every week we have a blood drive come in. They take blood from whoever, members of the public, whoever come in. And once a month they do the vaccines there as well.
And that's the thing. And this is one of these situations where people don't want to ask these questions. They get upset. They leave. Their argument. I don't want to talk about that. But this isn't the question about vaccines. This is a question of, why are so many people sheep? Not for vaccines, but in general. There's clear pushes to a direction. So my question is, and since you're responsive, what do you think this direction is? Like in London, in the UK, where do you see things moving towards?
Well, why do I think that everyone's getting the vaccine?
No, not the vaccine, but just in general. Society is moving towards a direction.
It seems like, to be honest with you, it seems like a sort of lockdown society we live in at the moment. I mean, like, we can go now. We've been put back on lockdown, like a level 3 or something, I think it is. So you still have to go into shops wearing masks and stuff like that now. unless you've got your exempt pass or something like that. Trains are the same. If you get on trains, buses, you have to wear the masks and stuff. Causes quite a lot of arguments as well.
And I hate to be that kind of person, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, people get mad at this shit, you know. And it's funny because people turn a blind eye to this. They turn a whole blind eye to this. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. It's easier, right? You know what the real demon is? The demon of everything is convenience. Making things convenient is the reason why we fall into this nonsense that we are in now. For instance, if you look at dating, right? I mentioned this before. Billions of dollars is the government is spending for dating. They want to know how the human condition works. They want to understand how it is calculated for some reason. You also got to look into the situation of, and they mentioned this in Metal Gear Solid 2. This was very interesting, actually, when it comes to Metal Gear Solid 2. They mentioned this. You know, when you look at how things are going, right? Let's go back to dating. People used to be able to talk to each other. You would talk to them directly, and everything would be great. She likes you. She likes you. She doesn't. She doesn't. All right, fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. But convenience is killing everything. I would rather just download an app and just pick who I want. You know what I mean? And not even think about it. I want things to be in my face. Say again?
So get like a matchup, innit? Get a matchup, go fight, come back. Yeah.
It's really crazy when I look at things and see how things are completely different. It's all about convenience. Everybody wants to have that convenience of not thinking for themselves. It is just too difficult to think for yourself. It's too difficult. It's too difficult. And nobody wants to have the conversation. That's the thing that kills me. Nobody wants to have this conversation. You know, I want Metacritic to fucking think for me. I don't want to play the games myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this. And then you look at movies that are propped up. You remember, even we just had a conversation about Mediocrity. You remember back in the day, we used to have, you remember The Matrix? I think you're around the same age as me. We used to have The Matrix. We used to have Lord of the Rings. What was that movie with the Pirates of the Caribbean? All these different movies. You want to know what happened? People don't want to think too much. People just want to watch some popcorn shit. The thing that makes the Marvel movies great is a lot of fucking action and comedy. That's it. A lot of action and comedy, and they don't want to think. So the movies that we get nowadays that sells $1 billion, $2 billion in box office all together is fucking Marvel movies. We can't even have original movies. And guess what? Even if they did, guess what? Society says that's a no-go. If somebody wants to make something unique, guess what happens with that? You don't have the money. Uniqueness doesn't pay. You know, trying to do something different doesn't pay. So you get pounds of fucking marbles. You get pounds of open world games. You get pounds of the same fucking movies. I mean, music, I should say. No one wants to do anything different. And society does not want to think. They'll listen to a famous person over a fucking doctor. And that's where we're heading. We're heading into some dangerous fucking territory right now. We are heading into some fucked up shit right now. And, you know, and we have to, what's happening is, I guess you can look at government or whatever the case is, but what I can see here is that it's hard to, the internet is fine, right? But with the social media situation, they need to contain that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody has their own personalities, which is what I was saying about the Metal Gear Solid 2 game. Everybody has their own personalities and shit, and they have their own truths. right? They need to contain that shit. There's no way to stop people from saying shit. If Nicki Minaj comes out of no fucking where and say, guys, I just heard that if you take that shot, your balls will fall off. People will fucking, or your pussy lips will fall off. People will fucking listen to her over a fucking doctor because she has so many millions of fucking followers. So what happens is that these powers to be, whatever they are, whoever they are, have to contain that shit. So usually they'll tell the influencers to say certain things to steer the narrative. So when they have governments that spend billions of dollars on dating, it's not just dating, it's how the human mind works. So you won't have people to fall in line. Now, I'll go back to the fucking shot since I don't have the viewership at the moment. Fuck it. I might as well just dive in this bitch. People are literally surrendering their freedoms for convenience. I don't know if anybody realizes this shit, but you may not realize, I don't think if you follow all the rules that they tell you to follow, you're still not going to have your freedoms. The agreement was to take the vaccine shot and you will be able to go to different places without a mask. So long as you have the card or can prove that you're vaccinated. Guess what happened? You still need a fucking mask. And also, guess what happened? You still need booster shots to be considered vaccinated. Mm-hmm. That one shot ain't going to do anything for you. That ain't going to cut it. It is what it is. And people think that, yeah.
No, that's true. My daughter had surgery on the 2nd of December. I went there with the missus and that, and they wouldn't let me into the hospital. The whole day I had to sort of sit outside in the car park because I didn't have my second vaccine dose yet. So I had to outside literally 13 hours just waiting for it to come up.
Do you realize that beforehand, when the vaccines first rolled out, they said all you need is one to be considered vaccinated? You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Now it says you need to have the whole complete thing. Now that's not enough. You need the complete 2 shots plus boosters. It's just going to keep rolling down the fucking hill. And guess what? If you don't comply, they're going to shame you. They're going to have your neighbors look at you and be like, oh my God, you're not taking the vaccine. Just take it. Realizing that, if everybody takes the vaccine, it's still going to fucking spread. It's been verified through the CDC that it spreads regardless. And the fact that people will sit there and ignore that fact, because you know what it is too? People want to be right so bad they want to be right. And when they finally are wrong, they will hold on to that fucking wrong because they just can't fess up to being wrong. That happens in the gaming industry too. It's good. This game is good. This game is good. This game is good. No, it's good. It's really good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I do like it. Never finished the fucking game ever. Just to follow the narrative because they don't want to be wrong. They do anything to not be wrong. What were you going to say again? My bad.
No, I'm saying it's just true. The gaming thing's true as well. I go, this whole PlayStation Plus thing. I had PlayStation 1, and then I went straight for Xbox. And I think I stayed on Xbox One until 2017, something like that. Mm-hmm. Went to PlayStation. And some people asked me why I went to PlayStation. I was sick of waiting, sort of thing. Oh, what are you waiting for? There's games every 2 months on Game Pass. I was like, yeah, Game Pass only come out June, July 2017. I was gone by in August, September. I was having a talk with someone a minute ago about it on Twitter as well. He was telling me that the game's always coming out for Game Pass, day and date, blah, 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 blah. And it's just, after a little while, I'm just like, yeah, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong. I can't be bothered, it's too late for me, mate. I really ain't in the mood no more.
I would even go as far as to say this, right? That's how desperate people are to not carry an L, so to speak, right? People will sit there, right, and say that Sony will never go on any other platform. You're so stupid for getting an Xbox. You're a dummy. You dumb as hell. Why even have an Xbox if the shit is coming out for PC? Then the first couple of games started rolling out for PC. Well, that doesn't count because that's an indie game. Then you had another major game come out. Well, Sony didn't directly make that. You know what I mean? Even though they own the IP, Detroit Become Human is not theirs. You know what I mean? Death Stranding came out. Well, they Ben was going to do that. Horizon came out. Well, the Decima engine. The Decima engine is the reason why they did that. Because they trying to you know what I mean? They trying to make their own Unreal. God of War come out. I mean, it's been 2 years anyway. Who cares? And it just keeps going on and on and on. They just don't want to admit that you were fucking wrong for 8 years. All of your shit has been turned on its head. Now we got this subscription service, right? This subscription service is now like, if they do day and date, right? Because I don't put it past any company. I do like Sony, but guess what? I don't put it past the motherfuckers. They're a company looking for your money and looking for money. So I don't care. I'm going to call a spade a spade. But I'm not going to ever say that they won't do it. I never say never on that shit. It's not likely, but it could be possible.
With the numbers they carry at the moment, it's more likely for them to do it than it isn't.
Right. It's more likely that they won't, but it's not impossible. Now, the biggest problem I had, I was talking about The Last of Us, and everybody I see so many people talk about The Last of Us, right? They sit there, and when they talk about The Last of Us, right? Society says that you're supposed to like The Last of Us. Because if you don't like The Last of Us, guess what? You're a fucking bigot. You don't like the LGBT community. You're white trash. You're not inclusive. Even if the game sucked, as long as you have those check boxes, right? You're fine. If you like it. So a lot of people, I would say, they may like the game, but they give it extra praise because society says you're supposed to like it. I don't mind anything about LGBT. Fucking what? Almost 10 years ago, they had the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody batted an eye to that shit and purchased it. No one said anything. But nowadays, as long as you put race and sexuality in the forefront to get people's emotional strings going, then you can get a W. And people want to feel right about something. So if you say something that's irrefutable, you know what? I don't know why people don't like the LGBT community. Like, they just pop up out of nowhere and say that shit, right? No one said anything at all, but they'll say that shit, and then they'll see all the likes. Get that dopamine hit because of that like, and then everybody else wants a piece of that dopamine hit because when they see a like, they feel validated, whether you're a man or a woman. And you can see how easy it would be to manipulate the public. It's very easy to manipulate people as long as you take away their fucking convenience and give them some sort of validation, make them feel fucking special and important, then you can control the fuck out of people. Where are we heading to? Who runs things? I don't know. I know it has something to do with people that likes control. I'll say that much. I can't tell for sure what the fuck's going on, but whatever it is, it's not a lot of people and they like control. Now, for me, I work from home, right? Fine. I work from home. That's cool. Working from home, I see a lot of fucked up shit going on. No, I used to be friends with a couple of, the maintenance crew at my actual job. I used to be real cool with them. You know what pains me? When they closed down that fucking building. I was really cool with them. You know, the average person don't give a fuck. Well, at least I got a job because, you know, thank God I got a job. Oh, well, you know, I guess they're going to have to find something else. That sucks. But everybody's working from home. And guess what happens? Everybody works from home and everybody's on these computers and shit like that. I don't know if you guys peep this on YouTube, right? YouTube actually has this weird thing going on where you remember they had the ads, right? The ads were 5 seconds. You want to know something? The ads are 6 seconds now.
If some of them ads are going for like 10 seconds, you can't even skip them either.
You can't skip them. They're 6 seconds, or some of them are 15 seconds. And there's more of them, a lot fucking more. And for the people that can't get monetized, they'll put ads on that bitch too. Nobody complains. They're like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? There's what other option it is? The whole thing is to take control away from everybody. Because this internet changed the fucking game for everybody. It changed the whole fucking shit up. Who is requesting to chat?
Can't even see fucking dislikes no more.
Oh, that was another thing too. You got the whole dislike situation. Because corporate business entities, they don't want to have bad press, so they just remove the dislikes. You can just jump in and chat, man. You don't got to raise your hand. This ain't the space. This ain't those spaces.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I just want to say something real quick.
Sure.
About those ads. I've never seen this on YouTube before, but like I want to say like maybe a month ago, I actually saw an ad that was like 24 minutes. Now I could skip this shit. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, who like, why is this shit here? So they doing some real crazy shit. And I even noticed on my own.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Go on. Just continue.
No, I was gonna say for my own videos, I'm not monetized because I don't have like I guess 1,000 followers or some stupid shit, and they have ads on my videos.
Well, let me ask you something. What do you do?
I have on my videos it's just like workout footage.
I'll follow you. Cool.
Yeah, I mean that's on my like that's like something totally separate. Like I'm not trying to gain anything from that. But
no, it's cool. Look, I'm a content creator. Get it where you fit in.
No, I'm just saying. I'm like, how does that work? How are you gonna put ads or something that I didn't authorize? Because I don't even know. Like it's like some random shit. And I'm like, I don't get no money from that. Like I thought that was the whole purpose of like giving me money. But just to speak on the topic real quick, I don't know why people are so gun ho for all these gaming services in terms of passes and like a subscription network, because all it's doing is it's trying to take away your property rights. And I think people should like start being aware of that. Just with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, most people don't care that they changed the Confederate flag, and you know what? So be it. I don't care either. But it's a fact that they did it that's a problem. Because now they could just start rearranging games, removing content that was once there. In the case of like Mass Effect, totally changing the narrative. They say, oh, it's just a camera angle. Oh, it doesn't change. Okay, but that's not the original artistic intent. Okay, like, don't people get this? You know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because people don't like to have this conversation. The second you challenge somebody to think, they immediately retreat. I don't want to hear it, because they would rather someone think for them. You want to know? I don't think they're trying to take away property rights. What I think is they're trying to do the whole money thing. But here's the thing. This world is run today by validation. People want to feel important. The second, and I'm not saying whether you should believe in God or not, and I'm not saying that at all, right? What I am saying, though, is the second that you remove that type of like the whole God thing, everybody became their own gods. Social media made people feel way more important than what they really were. And what ended up happening in this particular case, right, is my word is better than your word. So you got people that scout, look for something that could seemingly get them likes, that could be offensive. That Confederate flag that you're mentioning, yeah, somebody would have complained about it. Oh my God, Rockstar is racist, just to get the likes. They really don't give a fuck, but they did it so they can get the likes. You'd be surprised on how many people, Oh, he got kicked out. Okay, cool. I got you in there. You'd be surprised on how many people, right, say the most fucked up shit behind closed doors and then go on social media and act like they're fucking holier than thou. Have you experienced that, him?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know women who are like that. It's like they, you know what I'm saying? They preach holier than thou, and then it's like, look, they private life, and it's like, that's like the fourth person who was at your house in the last week, but I'll let you tell it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, do what you got to do, but you probably shouldn't be saying it online because you're like a hypocrite. But yeah, I totally, I agree with what you're saying. My whole argument is the fact that as someone who's a purist, I want the same content that we have today. I want to have that 10 years from now. Maybe I want, I don't have children right now, but maybe if I do, I want them to experience what I experienced. Once we start letting, I'm 36. Once we start letting developers and the sad thing about this, by the way, now that I think about this, I'm not sure if you're aware that Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I spoke about this before. They were like, we're going to try to modernize it. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, no, not just modernize it. One of the lead writers she's a raging feminist, doesn't like men, doesn't actually like Star Wars fans, which blows my mind how she is the head of that property. But she's actually saying that they're going to modernize the dialogue. Now, that's a problem because you're only supposed to be remaking the same game. Maybe you modernize the engine, the gameplay, sure. But once you start changing the dialogue and you start changing the narrative, well, that's a reinterpretation. That's not the same thing. Now, given the fact that they want to also, stop selling certain games so they can sell you the new version over and over, a la Disney, that's where I have a problem at. Because you're basically saying the original copy doesn't exist or it's no longer even important enough to preserve, and you want to give me something else with someone else's agenda, someone else's voice, and someone else's artistic design. That's a problem for me. And that's what I believe these subscription services will ultimately do.
The subscription services will feed you what they want you to be fed. That's what the subscription services will do. It will give you what they want. They will sit there and give you the bare fucking minimum. That last topic that I talked about, settling for mediocrity, ties directly into this. Who runs it? Fucking corporations is what runs things. The reason why people have to take the vaccine has nothing to do with fucking public safety or public health. It's about their fucking dollars. This is why when you see on the news, they are literally talking about their stocks, Moderna and Pfizer, and it's through the fucking roof. Why? Where are they getting that money from? The government. Where the government is getting the money from? You. They're getting it from you.
But wait, I just want to point back to something, right? When you were just talking about people who go online, preach holier than thou, and then behind the doors they do some fucked up shit, that goes straight to Activision. Right?
But you know what,
right.
too? You know what? No,
I'm
going to add something on there. I'm going to add something on this bitch. You want to know something, too? Naughty Dog, Insomniac, Sony, and Microsoft have all these crazy fucking allegations behind closed doors. And it's known, right? But you know what the narrative is? But I love them. I don't really like Activision. They don't make something out.
Did you hear about the executive at PlayStation that just got caught with the kid, the 15-year-old kid?
Oh, no.
That happened today.
Oh, no.
Yes, the vice president, the executive vice president for PSN, you can look it up right now, he was caught in a sting with a 15-year-old boy.
He was caught in a sting with a 15-year-old boy.
Yes, he was meeting up with a 15-year-old. This is going to be big on Monday, but it happened today. It was an independent sting, like one of those Chris Hansen, I believe his name is, like one of those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And it's homeboy caught trying to have sex with a 15-year-old boy, head of PSN.
What? Yo, I'm going to say this, and it's going to get dark. I can tell you have some thick skin with this shit. Remember I told you that corporations is the thing that is ruling everything, right? It's these corporations. And what I mean by that is that they'll do anything for the money, but social media kind of fucked everything up. So all they have to do is pretend that you're, you know what I mean, that they're friends with you, and then you start buying their shit. For instance, Cardi B, they was asking her, she had an interview with the fucking president. The fuck does this stripper know? What the fuck she know?
Okay, are you aware that Cardi B should be in jail, by the way? For rape?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because you know what? She drugged somebody, but you know what? Exactly. That's the narrative. And you know what? The loudest people that complain are usually the people that are the most fucked up. That's what's happening here. You want to know something real crazy on Twitter, no less. There is areas on Twitter where you can, and Reddit too, where you can talk about how you can fantasize about people that are age deficient. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I was just having this conversation with my friend about how the whole idea of inclusivity ad nauseum, to where everyone and anything could be included in our society, is going to lead to that exact topic you're talking about, because they now want to reclassify them as being MAP, or minor blank person, right? But the acronym is MAP. And I'm like, how the fuck is this even like a conversation? Like, you need to be buried, homie. Like what? Like, how is this? I don't want you part of society.
You want to know why? This is I'm gonna tell you why, and this is what I'm saying. If they can legalize this, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, because that's acting crazy. If they can legalize that MAP, put it that way, then a lot of executives will get a pass.
Exactly.
If they can, they'll get a pass. First it was being gay, closeted, right? There's a lot of people, you know what happens with this too, is that when you have a lot of money, you start doing shit. You just start doing shit.
Yeah, you get bored. Yep, you're absolutely right. Yep, exactly. You get bored.
Shit gets boring. So I want to try something the fuck else. What's this look like? What this look like? What this do? And they start going into different things. And then eventually they start, and look, so it is what it is.
I'll tell you how I even came to, sorry, no, not to cut you off.
No, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I'll tell you how I got to this conclusion, right? So at the beginning of the pandemic, all the kids out of school, etc. And I have a little sister, she's 11. So, I mean, we never, no one's going through it before. I had to help my parents, like, figure out what to do, etc., etc. And one day I was asking my mom, like, hey, what's my sister doing? She's like, oh, she's on TikTok. And like, despite the fact I know what TikTok is, I actually never used this shit, right? So I'm just thinking it's like social network, whatever, right? So then I started like looking at it. I started paying, like, just keep it into my psyche. And I remember I kept hearing about TikTok and Twitch. So I got one of them confused. And I was like, oh, maybe she's looking at Twitch. So I started looking up Twitch. And then I started to hear about Alinity. Do you know who that is by chance? Do you know who Alinity is?
I missed what you said. That shit kicked me clean out.
Streamer or something.
Yeah, she's a streamer, right? She's supposedly like one of the most popular streamers. So last year she got getting kicked off, and I'm like, who is this chick? Like, she looks kind of whack to me. I don't see why anyone was being impressed by her. And then I found out that she was kicked off for fucking around with her dog, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? First,
I remember that.
Then there was some shit she was doing with her dog to where she was basically simulating sex. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit, right? Because this is a popular streamer. Then I actually started to like really look look into this shit. And there's videos of her on all fours, bent over, with her dog behind her. See? And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding. Like this ain't real.
This is the thing.
You can look it up on YouTube. You could probably find it on just the regular net or whatever. And I'm like, wait a second. If this is the kind of shit kids are watching, I'm only 36. Like, I ain't trying to sound like an old head or something like that. But I'm like, I need to know what my sister's looking at, right? Can you guys hear me? Like, can you guys hear me? How is this shit even like possible? Then I thought to myself, wait a second. There's no kids in school, right? So they're not seeing each other. They just left to doing dumb shit on their own, right? So we know kids are, developing etc., etc. So they're gonna start just like having crazy thoughts and shit to their head. They start seeing some shit like this where a girl is simulating sex with an animal, and she's like an influential girl. She's actually a woman. She's not even a girl. She's like at least 20 something. What's to stop them from emulating that dumb shit? And I'm like, wait. So then I went down the rabbit hole, which is of like these furry communities and like all this like sick perverse shit. I'm like, you got to be fucking like, what is this shit? Like, what happened to the fucking society? Like, you
the
got people,
furry ones are the worst, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, you have people pretending they're animals the whole way through, and then you have like they basically are simulating that same weird shit. I'm like, oh my god, like wow. So when everyone's supposed to be like inclusive and accepting of this, that, and the third, it's like we're basically setting the template for this kind of deviant ass behavior to become like de facto society.
So can you hear music? I can hear him, but I don't know if you can hear him.
Hear music? I don't hear any music.
No, can you hear me?
Josh, you hear him?
No, right now only.
No, I don't think he can hear you now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't hear anyone else talking.
Can you tell him to back out and go back in?
Come back or something.
He said, can you back out and come back in? Cause
yeah. Okay. Yes, I'll do.
Cheers, bro.
All right, so he's gonna come back. Yeah, it's crazy. And here's the thing: people don't want to talk. People don't want to. The blind eye situation is fucking crazy to me. It's annoying. I'm looking now and people like, I mean, I get it. This is supposed to be like a gaming type situation. People don't want to talk about it. They back out. I mean, I don't want to hear it because that sounds like conspiracy theory shit. But you could clearly see something is fucking wrong. Yeah. Something is wrong. It's wrong because of what's going on, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Can you hear him now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And what's crazy is that people now it's so insane. Like I said, these rich people, they start doing all sorts of crazy shit. They start doing all sorts of crazy shit because they have nothing better to do. But at the same time, if this shit gets leaked, like for instance, the fucking Epstein chick, the Epstein dude, then the Epstein chick. Then you saw them with fucking Oprah and Bill Gates and the Clintons and fucking what's the dude's name? Our previous president. What the fuck was his name? Trump. You see all this shit. If he was bad, why are they with him? But they quick to say that, oh, he was a terrible person. But why were you with him for decades? What's really happening now? And so what happens in this particular case is people, don't want to think for themselves. That's a big problem. They don't want to think for themselves. They want to do whatever the fuck they want to do without being checked at all. That's the problem.
They want that status.
Like what he mentioned about that streamer that did the whole dog thing. I wouldn't be surprised that she's just doing anything just to be popular. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised. Now, she already exposed herself to doing some fucked up shit. And guess what? You can't take it back. You can't take it back. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I just don't know where the world is going. My biggest concern is again, pandering so badly. You know what I'm saying? Just to include everybody. And if you include, I said this last week, if you include everybody and every subject, you get the same product over and over and over again. Ham, I wanted to ask you this, because you remember Pepe Le Pew, right?
Little skunk.
Yeah.
Little skunk, right? You said that you wanted your kids to see that shit, to see how your world was, rather, to be specific.
Well, not necessarily that character, but assuming it's like, what was Pepe Le Pew?
He was a womanizer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Looney Tunes. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I want my kids, should I get them, because I'm 37, long be 37. I want my kids to see how this world was I don't want you to erase it.
Right. Like there's
how the fuck are you gonna learn from anything
exactly
if it gets deleted? Put that black woman back on that pancake box too.
Put that black woman back on the pancake box. I'm dead. That's hilarious.
I'm being serious, yo. I want like all of this triflingness. I want all of that shit to be there. People are super sensitive, and they're not really sensitive either. They're not really sensitive. They are trying to get likes. They are tackling something that seems to be an outrage so you can get the likes. You look at the guy, Young Yeah, right? This bitch, I can't stand this dude. I call sit there talking about Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is one of the best games he ever made with his yellow fucking chair. Then slide in there, talk about how bad it is when he starts seeing the ship sinking. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
He's a cornball. Yeah, I really don't listen to that guy at all. Once I saw him with how he was treating Kojima, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's a plant. I think some of them are plants because it's like I never looked these people out, and like they just start appearing on my timeline on my my YouTube. I'm like. He's not even remotely close to the kind of information I watch. Why is he here? It's like, oh, you want to feed me this guy because he's a plant. But I don't know if you noticed, but certain Disney movies now have warnings ahead of them. And in the case of The Lion King, they've actually changed some of the content. I don't know if you noticed.
A lot of it.
Yeah, like they took out some of those little subtle sex references in the Lion King. It's like, wait a second. See, once again, you're changing shit. And again, it's not even the people who made it that's making the changes. It's people, generations removed who think, oh, I need to fix this. Like, no, mother, how about you create something? All right? Instead of trying to go back and recreate or retweak something that was made by someone who was artistically superior to you, how about you create something for your generation that others could appreciate? Because that's actually hard work.
Let me interject with this one. I don't want my children to see that nonsense. That is too overly sexualized. And then turn around and have the fucking music awards with fucking Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion rubbing their pussy lips on stage. Come on, bitch. That was at 8:00 p.m. no less. People have children.
Now, let's go back for a second though, because Janet Jackson was damn near castrated for a similar situation with
she didn't even do it.
Exactly.
She didn't even
do it with Justin Timberlake. She was pretty much banned from public consciousness for 5 years or something like that. Meanwhile, you have Cardi B, who's now celebrated. You have Cardi B and Lizzo and even Rihanna to some extent, who were basically simulating lap dances and sexual content on public television. I'm like, what the hell is this about?
Not you don't gotta pay for it. You just gotta turn on the fucking TV. It's for everybody to fucking see. They're showing all sorts of crazy fucking shit. Crazy fucking shit is insane, and nobody thinks about that shit. Even when it comes to this shit. And I'm gonna say something that's so fucking controversial, but you can't deny it. Most of this shit, okay, so when you're an emotional person, that means that your foundation is like sand when you're super emotional, right? As long as you pull on the heartstrings in any type of direction to somebody, you can make them into a fucking puppet. Who's out of their human race? What gender is emotional?
Female.
100%, bro. All of these advertisements are catered to who?
Oh yeah, you know that.
They're catered to females because of this fact. You want to know what? A fucking peanut butter jar. Hi, Jiffy. We have a mother in the fucking sunlight. You know what I'm saying? She's making she's making a peanut butter sandwich. What the fuck does it got to do with fucking peanut butter? I'm a grown ass man, a single fucking man without any children. I just want to eat the peanut butter. Does it taste good? I don't want to see this white bitch.
Yeah,
who the fuck is this?
See, now you about to get me go down the rabbit hole because I had criticisms for those new Gillette commercials that came out in the last 2 or 3 years, to where the commercial isn't even selling you a goddamn razor. It's selling you a message about toxic mask. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, that was like in 2016 or some shit like that. Some crazy shit. Whenever
that was
it was.
That was like 2018.
They were like, you should be ashamed of being a man. No, like they prop up women, right? Whatever the powers to be, they prop up women specifically because they are the people they are targeting. And it's easy to manipulate somebody that are in their feelings. I'm sorry to say it, it is what it is. And I'm starting to notice this gender reversal is the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
I'll look at, they be talking about insurance. You and your family, they have the fucking man basically breastfeeding with a bottle and the mom coming home from work. Honey, I'm home. What the fuck? I mean, I get it. Huh?
No, go ahead.
You got that going on. You got a dude braiding his daughter's hair, and everybody, let's keep a man should do that too. He should be in his feelings and shit. Like, I don't understand. I'm like, all right, where's the man attitude? Where's the man?
Well, see,
dynamic.
What bothers me about that though is because, as I told you, I have a sister, right? What man do you know who has a daughter doesn't already do that shit? Like if you have a daughter, right, you're gonna be playing.
You're gonna have to.
You're gonna play kitchen set with her. You're gonna sit down, make her, like you're gonna do all those things naturally. So like this narrative that like if you have a daughter, you're just gonna be like, well, I ain't doing anything with her. I'm not gonna touch her. She's a little alien. It's like, where does this narrative come from? Because it's not even based in reality. It's like you're creating this fictitious world to demonize men when it's not based on what men actually do. Right,
because men are not so easily swayed when it comes. That's why when in the sales world, they'll go after you want to buy a car, they'll go after the fucking woman.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Now, I just want to speak on this real quick, right? One thing I want to say was, I mean, I'm sure we all played The Last of Us 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've been saying this since I first played that game. I've never touched it again. Those sex scenes with Abby would never occur in graphic detail if Abby was made to look like a woman. You want to know why?
The male gaze.
But no. More importantly, what position does Abby even have sex in?
Doggy.
Exactly. That's not a fucking regular sex. Like, you work your way up to that. You know what I'm saying? You don't just like, oh, we have like you kissing, etc., etc.
He slipped right in that bitch. That shit was regular for her.
Right? It's like, wait a second, like that. You work like all men. You know what I'm saying? You kissing her, maybe from behind, whatever. But you work your way up into that. That whole scene, plus her physique, mind you, was simulating gay sex, and no one could tell me no goddamn different.
You want to know? No. I hate. Look. I'm sorry to say, but people don't want to talk about that shit. You know why? Because it makes you look better if you just agree with what they're saying. Whatever, not agree with it, but if you want to line up what they're saying, you'll get all the likes and you get all the people. You may get a developer even talk to your ass. Thank you so much for loving our product. And they be like, they talk to me.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Just selling themselves out. You want to know something? That sex scene is burnt into my fucking memory, not because of her deficit in mammary glands, right?
Did you enjoy that?
Shut up. But you remember they were about to scrap. Olin and Abby was about to scrap. You know what he did? Like a bitch, he pulled her hair.
Right.
Like a fucking female. And he was like, Abby. And then all of a sudden, they start taking off the shirts and stuff like that. In graphic detail, he turned her around, and that shit went on too long.
Exactly. It went on way too long. But I knew something is up with their chemistry when you're playing the game and she's the one who's opening all those gates. It's like, he hasn't even been down. I'm like,
psychologically, that shit is, people don't pick up on this.
Thank you. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait, why is she a fucking like, he doesn't even motion to help. There's no reference of him even opening the door. She opens the door for him. I'm like, oh, I get it.
There is nothing feminine in that game at all. Anywhere.
I'm like, oh, okay. Now, keep in mind now, have you seen League of Legends Arcane?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch that, bro. That is fire. I feel that's like this generation's Akira, or maybe even the Matrix in terms of its presentation, its storytelling, and just like the way that universe engages you and like brings you into the world. Because I'm like, damn, I want to play League of Legends now after I watch that. But
you know what? I just want to say this. You know what's going to happen, and we're going to wrap it up. Yo, I would love for you to follow the YouTube and the Twitter, if you could, man. That would really help me out. What's going to happen is we're going to have our modern day segregation. It's going to happen with commerce, and it's going to happen with social media. It's going to be a great divide between. There's going to be a digital segregation.
Well, it's already happening. If you look,
it's already there. We got Odyssey. People are moving over there, and it's not because they're conservative. It's because they don't want to go with that rhetoric. I'm gonna tell you right now, within the next 5 years, that would you call it again? You gave it an acronym, PAD or MAD or something.
MAP.
What the fuck was it? MAP. Is going to be acceptable. I guarantee it.
Here's my philosophy. I've told my friends, I said, in the span of 10 years, so about 2030, saying that you're heterosexual is going to be considered transphobic. I'm positive of it. Just saying that you only prefer to date with women or men, and you're heterosexual, that's what we consider transphobic. I guarantee.
And people, you know what's crazy? It's not because that notion. What's going to be crazy about it is that people are going to just roll with it.
But you see it now. Wait, so let me just say real quick,
they're going to really, really roll with it.
Let me tell you, because again, I have a little sister. It's now becoming like, you have to remember, they're the ones who are absorbing this, right? And they're the ones who are the most impressionable. So my mother would be telling me about, like, she has to have these conversations with my sister about what all this shit means, which means I didn't have to hear about it because I have to, keep up on it. And she tells me how my sister was saying in her school, kids are saying things like, oh, it must suck for you to be only into boys. And it's like, holy shit. Like, I always look at the world from my perspective because, I'm a man and I'm 6'5", so the world, people treat me different off the rep. But I never think about it from the kid's perspective. Like, they're the ones who have to inherit this bullshit, not me. I already got my idea.
This is why I say who runs things really, because honestly, someone's pulling the strings to make it like this. I don't know what's going on or who, but they are making it like this. And I know that the higher ups, which is corporations, because they want to sell their product, that's part of the issue. But there's somebody even higher than them, and I don't know what that is. But what I will say, I've always been thinking about what the fuck is going on. I don't care what the fuck you do in your personal closet space. I don't. But I do know one thing is that the human mind is extremely malleable. People can literally make themselves like or dislike something with enough time and enough persuasion. Doesn't matter where you stand and what you do.
Yep. And
they'll sit there, and I'm saying this. Everybody is not impervious to it. No one's impervious to this shit. If you keep the message blasting over and over, like the he-hims.
That's why
the he-hims and the they-thems and all the other shit. I remember when I first saw that shit back in 2014.
You're like, what the fuck is this weirdo shit?
And I was like, this lady is off her fucking rocker. They had to disable the fucking comments and the likes because everybody was saying this bitch was crazy. She was like, oh, I don't want to tell you my kid's gender because it's none of your business, but I don't tell them what gender it is because I think that the patriarchy. And now we are living that shit.
But why do you think
you have to put that shit in your bios at this point in time with this blue check mark shit that they call Twitter? You have to do that shit.
But listen,
you have to follow a certain trend.
Why do you think they went after children's programming? Why? Because children are the ones who are most impressionable. They don't have an idea yet. So if they can put it into their idea and they can have them grow up with all these, confusing colors. Mind you, I think that whole rainbow shit, by the way, I think that's the biggest aspect of propaganda is that they don't want the world to be black and white. They don't want it to be homogenous. Sorry, they don't want it to be between heterosexuals. When you start talking about the spectrum, once you talk about a spectrum, well, now it's infinite possibilities because you're on a spectrum, right? And that's the message. Like it's like I studied communication in school, mind and philosophy. So we will always taught to look for propaganda and codes in speech. And it's like when people start to like just repeat these buzzwords, right? Woke and the pronouns and all that whole thing. It's like you're not getting this. Like you're echoing their message just by reciting their terminologies. These are their words. And they've coerced you into repeating their words. They're constantly making their synonyms and their hidden messages and subliminal messages permeate through language subconsciously. It's always in your head now.
And let's call a spade a spade. That's exactly what this is. It's propaganda.
Oh, totally.
That's how it works. It's propaganda.
Well, you see, like I don't know about in the States and that, but over here we got something called zebra crossings. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Have you got them over there, like black and white stripes across the road?
Yeah, for our streets, for across the street, right?
Oh yeah,
all across the street. Yeah, over here they're not black and white no more. They're rainbows.
Stop playing!
Shut up!
Are you serious?
Shut up! Shut your ass up!
I'm being serious.
I got an assignment for you.
Wow!
Listen, I got an assignment for you, Nightmares.
You got to
take a picture of that shit.
You got to take a picture of that, bro.
and DM that shit.
Are you serious?
Ain't no fucking way I believe that shit.
Change the colors. They change the colors of your streets. See, listen. I'm telling you, that's how. You know what happens?
You know what happened? These gamers won't come in here because you know why we're attacking what they like. That they were programmed to like. Ooh, he talking about that bigot sandwiches.
Yeah,
I'm like. Bro, like, all right. I gotta say,
about celebrating gay pride and shit like that. That's what it always says.
I'm not mad at anybody doing what they do, but what I am upset about is that you are really making my lifestyle claustrophobic as fuck. You are smothering me, what your agenda. I can't. All I want to do is have fun playing video games. You know what I have to deal with? I have to go through layers of he, him, they, rainbows, LGBT, male, gays. They can't even make a woman an actual woman. Yes, woman has titties. They have titties.
That's how I felt playing Overwatch. Overwatch used to be one of my favorite games. Say again.
I saw it.
I didn't see it. I'm not playing, bro. I'm being serious.
The crosswalk.
Wow. Yeah, that's how I felt with Overwatch, and then they started to make damn near every other character gay. Later on in the game, they made like 3 of the popular male characters gay. It's like that's not even their story. Like why am I playing a goddamn video game with a hero shooter where I'm playing as a character who's dead? Why is he gay now? Like holy shit!
You can play a murderer in a video game. But and everything's fine with that. You can blast people's heads off, stomp on their face, and all that other shit. Second, you want a game where you have a heterosexual character. Nah, can't do that.
I stopped playing that game. I was in a chat, like I was playing Overwatch, like the chat, whatever's talking. And I had no idea who the fuck they were talking about because they were referring to people as bears and unks and like all this like weird language. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I don't even know what a bear. Exactly. I know what a bear is. I don't know what
it's gay terminology. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I can't have this shit going through my ears. I'm trying to play a fucking game to kill people. Like, what is going on?
There's in this look, and this is again, I have to preface this conversation over and over and over again. Do what you do, but don't make me feel wrong for being heterosexual.
Right. But see, it doesn't stop
there. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It doesn't stop there because you always have to find some new niche. It's not enough to be homosexual. It's not enough anymore. Now you have to be on the spectrum and anything goes, which is what my problem is. Because it's like, all right, are there no more lines now? Like nothing's like everything's just open because what's going to happen, as we discussed, it's going to start going off into those weird ass, even weirder categories to where every single fetish that goes through a person's mind is acceptable. It's going to happen.
It's going to go to that point, and that's when society will collapse. It is collapsed. It's fucked up. Oh, yeah, this is why there's a whole bunch of single parent households. This is why men are not men anymore. They are very emotional at this point in time. That's not
their nature.
They pay for
it now. Now they pay for it.
And that's why women are masculine. It's not a part of their nature either. They don't show feelings anymore. They don't give a fuck what they do. I was just telling people earlier about this 16 and 17-year-old girls found a suicide. Guy hung himself. And you know what they did? They robbed him of his necklace. He was there for a couple of days too.
Oh,
they put it on. And they put it. It's on YouTube. If you want to look for it, it's there. And they didn't block it out. And they posted it on TikTok twice. And this is the society that we live in, because you know what? Everybody is their own God at this point. That's the problem. Everybody is their own God. I matter. No one else fucking matters. It's all about me. It's all about what I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want. This homeless guy had sex. I'm sorry, excuse me. I gotta say it differently. He raped a girl for 45 minutes on a fucking train in Philadelphia.
Wow.
While there were people on a train, you want to know what the people did?
Probably nothing.
Nothing. Somebody filmed it. When a train stopped and a guy was switching, that was the only time. So this chick got raped for 45 minutes. For 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's like crazy shit like that happening in New York.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. No one cares about anything anymore. You know what I mean? People just be cheating on each other. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I'm like, listen, it's not a coincidence that now that we've basically decriminalized marijuana, we now have OnlyFans on the rise. We have all these outlets for basically a degenerate society, which, again, I don't care what you do. But the fact that, like, you're going to have basically an entire generation just selling themselves online, and it's like, well, you ain't really making that much money because you ain't that attractive. Okay? It's like, no one
They're not. And you know what's happening with them? When they put themselves on OnlyFans, because the world is telling them that they look boss, do you, girl, all the other shit, right? And they're like, I do look good. They get all those likes on social media, and then they go to OnlyFans and nobody wants them. And they're like, what the fuck? What happened?
Right. But my whole thing is, what are they going to do in 10 to 15 years? It's like, yo, have you thought about this shit? Like, you're a 50-year-old woman getting pounded out by, like, any and everybody. Like, and you have kids now. Like, no one thinks about that kind of shit. It's like, yo.
Oh, no, it don't matter. It don't matter because, you know what I mean? Because I don't age either. Remember, they're their own guide. I could use this filter and it'll just erase my years.
Right. And that's another thing, bro. The whole filter
and
shit.
Girls will literally put a whole bunch of makeup on and use filters and think that the end result is what they are.
But listen, what's one of the most popular filters girls use? That fucking deer-looking shit, right? Which, once again, pretending that they're animals. I'm like, yo, they don't see how this is like like you're being programmed. Like, you're basically looking at animals because, like, that's what they do, right? It's like, for what reason do you need to sexualize an animal? Right, you need to give it human qualities.
Exactly. Yeah, I forgot.
But the whole point is, attractive women, or at least attracted to you, right, that are doing this shit, and it's like, where is that going to play out? Because you're pretending now. No one thinks about this shit in terms of how little kids are going to start to interpret this stuff. It's crazy times, man.
It is. It absolutely is. So I'm going to wrap this up here. And I'm just going to basically say this. I really appreciate everybody that's been in there. I appreciate everybody that was able to really have this conversation. Really have this conversation and really, look into. Just really ask the questions. Because there's so many, like, this topic can be days. There's so many layered. There's so many topics. There's so many nuanced things here, and people don't ask the question. People run away when you mention this shit because they don't want that smoke from the overwhelming majority of the people that is pushing the agenda. It is what it is. It is what it is. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to